Well, hello there, everybody. How is everybody doing tonight? We got some Pog League of Legends coming at you live today. We got some more UraKen action. And this time we have got Era Tempo popping up on the stage. We have got TUKS Esports who will be rivaling them today. So curious to see how that's going to go. But we've also figured out how we can get music that doesn't have to be non-copyrighted on the stream, so we can kind of vibe to whatever. So now we kind of just gonna chill for a little while we just wait for the teams to get together. We're also gonna be waiting for my lovely co-cast that we're gonna be having on here, Instinct AD. He's gonna be joining me for this cast. Just very glad to have him here. But I think he's just in an ARAM right now. He's not telling us that, but he's in an ARAM right now, so that's why he's not here right now. But now means we can play some vibe in music. Like, we can play all the good music. Where is it? This is a song I've been waiting to play on the stream for so long. It's one of my favorite songs right now. Throwing shade, ban me. Well, you're the one who's in an ARAM right now. And I know you are, Mr. Magnus Carlsen. So yeah, I'll see him soon. But today we got some more Era gameplay. I'm gonna be backing the Era peeps again as they face off against TUKS. I could be wrong, and it's just a big coincidence, but it is TUKS, as it is the South University of Pretoria. I could be very wrong, but that is at least my interpretation of the whole scenario. But I could be wrong, could be right. I don't know. So if anyone could clarify that for me, I would be very grateful, because I'm still trying to get around some of these teams. I need to really look at them a little more in detail. But yeah, so we're just going to be waiting for a bunch of the Era peeps to get online. And then once that is all sorted, we will be getting up and running. I've got my water. I have the cat. I've added some new thingies onto chat, so you can pay to pet Bella. I think it's if I'm right or am I wrong? I'm trying to look how to use the points. Okay, so yeah, now I've got the bonk one doesn't work nearly as well. I do apologize for that. I've been trying to fix it. I got pets for Bella. I've got the first one. I've got choose music, highlight messages, hydrates, choose champions, and choose game. Got all that jazz. So be sure to pop in and see how that goes. Other than that, we're just gonna sit and chill for a little while. Gonna make sure to charge my fucking phone. Me, although you hate me, you're in heaven. You're in the heartless madness. Truth hurts, so me heaven. Stuff, just gonna make sure the tweets and stuff all go out and that's all fine. But yeah, I also fixed up the assets a bit more, so it's just visually it's a lot better to look at. Why is my camera just not focusing on me today? It doesn't like focusing on me, but here we are. So yeah. Alrighty. Now we are going to just make sure that we get everyone up and sorted. I'm just gonna message what's up with the peeps. Ain't no heartless madness, me. Truth hurts, show me heaven. This madness. Oh my goodness, I'm loving it. At latest 1:15. So we got 15 minutes to kill. And also the amount of time that this guy's gonna sit in this area. We're just gonna bother him a bit. Oh, is he out of there? Is he here now?
I'm still in the ARAM. Like I'm serious. Like these guys are just stalling over and over.
Are
It's
they
ridiculous.
are they trapping you in the game?
It's not like they're trapping me. Like we're both winning the team fight, but it's so cringe, right? Because it's like okay, like a person wins team fight, they go over to base 2 versus 5, lose 2 versus 5 because it's 2 versus 5, and then they do the same thing. Like it's so cringe.
It's
Like
just
I just want
people
to get out of the
constantly
game.
leaving base, leaving back, leaving base, dying, leaving base, dying, leaving base, dying, and no one's in sync anymore because no one wants to team fight.
Exactly.
Mm. Oh goodness. Okay, that's the load shedding that's kicked in. So now I'm back on the Jenny.
Huge.
Oh goodness, we haven't gotten together in so long, and I've missed you, man.
Mate, I missed you as well. You know, I think the last time we cast was that one royalty cast at the semi-finals.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was the last time, yeah. So, honestly, it's been a while.
But
Pretty happy to
now it's
play.
League of Legends. We were doing CS
Mm,
back then, so now
yeah,
it's back to
exactly.
League.
Mm.
And you got to get yourself a face cam because then we could do like the dual
I
face cam shit.
I actually do have a face cam. We
Oh
just need to
damn
set that
it.
up later, I think.
Okay, we'll set it up later because then
Yeah,
we
yeah,
can like make things a lot more interesting. I don't know how
yeah,
I can
exactly.
implement into my stream. I don't know how I'm supposed to do that. I guess
Yeah,
like I'll
the-
figure it out. I'll figure it out.
that's the way of
Um,
saying it. It's like, right, that you can have like a little analyst desk type thing, you know, virtual.
yeah. One of the peeps yesterday was saying what I need to do is I need to buy a green screen.
Mm.
Buy a green screen, like put it up here, and then get wear like a suit and like had a notepad and everything. Do the
Ah,
whole like LEC type shit.
yeah, exactly. You know, just green screen like the LEC desk.
Yeah, just green screen like a whole like make it get a green screen that's like the fucking like humongous.
Desk there,
Did you just
like
say
3 people.
mungus?
Humongous. Get like cage roll in the third frame or something. Just like a still frame.
Yeah, just casual, just like in the bottom corner of my screen, like there or like here.
Pedro.
Hey,
Yeah.
bro, what are you doing? It's the voices that talking to me.
Zeri.
Lulu,
Lulu. Holy
Lucian,
shit.
Nami.
Nami. It's so. It's. I don't know. That time in league was not the most fun thing for anyone.
All right, you better get into that game
I'm almost
quickly.
done. I'm almost done.
All right, because
It's
I've
like.
been invited to lobby and everything.
Oh no. It's over.
So
Nah,
I'm gonna do my shameless plug once these guys start joining.
yeah. It's like, hey guys, look at my stream.
Well, the thing is, I think they're South African
Yeah.
because it's TUKS Esports. So I'm under the
Oh my
impression
God.
it's University of Pretoria. I could be wrong. I could be very wrong, and I'm like completely just like outed myself entirely.
Okay, someone's
Or
gonna.
I don't know. No one's confirmed
Oh,
anything with me, so I'm kind of just hoping and praying I'm right.
yeah.
Okay, so now we've got all the error boys
Wait.
are here. Now we're just
Well, you're
waiting
just gonna have to invite me on a different account. I'm out of the serum.
Did you just leave it?
I'm so done. Like it's over in like 50 seconds if I leave. I'm not getting any LPQ. I'm out of here.
Yeah, Magnus Carlsen's not joining us today. Who are we getting? Are we getting
I'm
VVQ
sorry.
today?
That's actually
That
a
is
name
VVQ.
change. Yeah,
Nah,
that is VQ. I'll go in. What is it?
what's the
What
other one?
accounts do I even have you? I've
You've got me on
got
like
30.
multiple accounts. I should have just had like a whole tab for you, just on all your accounts.
That's actually what one of my friends have.
This is you on like your what is so it's low today.
Lododote. Yeah.
Lododote, yes.
It's got like it's the best name honestly. But I think I've got. I'm just never playing on that account again.
Dude, I just
Absolute incident.
and Robbie, I believe Robbie, I see he's been coaching stuff.
I see. He's been coaching with Toby or something.
Yeah, so he's been coaching Toby, he's been coaching this team that's actually playing now, so I need to actually move them all to
Oh, really?
era stuff.
All right then.
So it's pretty pug.
All right, invite me. I'm on Lododote. All right.
Are you on Lododote? Where's Lododote? Oh, there it is, Lododote.
Yeah. Wait, I'm gonna quickly make my headset wireless.
That's probably a good idea. And now I figured out how to separate music in my VODs.
Yeah.
So now I can play music that I want to play and not worry that I'm going to get like muted and stuff. But this next song goes out to members of the audience that might like this. I personally love this song, but the song goes hard.
Does it now?
Yes, it's called Spit in My Face.
don't know. It's telling me
You
to
know
be
who I
fine.
actually am? I'm actually Ryan Gosling.
Right, wait, what?
I am actually just Ryan Gosling. Like
I
that's
think
that
you
these
are actually.
yeah, dude, I'm just Ryan Gosling right here.
Honestly, there's no other description for it.
Yeah, just like gonna do like I am Ryan Gosling, dude. Like the decision
Yeah,
between what
it's been
movie to
made.
watch is between Oppenheimer and Barbie. Yo, bro, people are breaking up that weekend. Straight up. It's like like babe, I want to watch Oppenheimer. No. Let's watch
Mm,
Barbie. I want to
exactly.
see Ryan Gosling.
It's the. I mean, it's the correct decision. You got Ryan Gosling in it. It's just, I
He
mean, it's a good
is.
movie. It's not just Ryan Gosling,
Oh no,
obviously.
it's
Yeah,
absolutely amazing movie. Top
yeah.
10 movie, best movie of all time.
One of the movies of all time, that's for sure. It's one of the movies that's been made.
And it's just like it's and then you know the one thing he drops into the car and says, "What are you gonna do? Drive?" And then it just plays Drive.
Wait, actually,
Okay, what other music can we listen to that stream might like? We got some funk here, boys.
some
Got some
absolute.
hard style here. We got Tron music. We got the Sidemen.
So there's a new
mm,
Dracos single actually.
Dracos made a new single.
Yeah, Dead to Me.
Oh
Like
goodness.
it makes sense, right? Because obviously his play by play is kind of it would make more sense for like Captain Flowers as well. I think they're both actually
Yeah,
like
like
really what they do.
I hope to see them play. Like, well,
Mm.
cast again. Like, I'm just like kind of haven't seen them in a while.
Mm.
No one chase me, spin my face in oven. No one chase. Now we just sit and wait for TUKS Esports to arrive.
It's absolutely awkward. Just wait.
Well, it might be because they're still waiting for like a lot of the load shedding to be
Oh,
finished.
that too. Yeah, they don't always turn it on time.
Yeah,
That's
knowing
all.
South Africa, it's always like, oh, we're gonna turn your power on, but we turn it on like half an hour late. But here we are.
Yeah, but turn it on. 10 minutes early, half an hour late, sort of that type of thing.
So what has been? I've realized I'm just looking at this roster. So what this the roster has been changed a small bit.
Mm.
So
I
I
believe.
see. Who was it? It was. I think it was. Was it Wolfie who was used to play?
Think yeah, this is Tempo. Yeah, so Wolfie used to be here. They used to be. Oh no, I'm thinking way too far back for Tempo. I was about to say like Armin. That's way too far back.
I just think I don't really know for sure what the situation is and what's changed and what hasn't changed, but it does seem like all the players are getting up and running.
All right then.
So
All right, that was fairly smooth. Let's see it. I'm ready for the shameless plug. All right then.
yes, we gotta do the shameless plug. It's always gonna happen. Oh wait, it's Steve-O and the Meme Cartel.
Is he?
Yeah, it's Steve-O from when we played him with him on ASF. Well, I played with him on ASF.
Yeah, I remember. Oh wait, yeah, I kind of recognize him. I haven't played with him, but I recognize him. Wait,
Oh sheesh! Well, I didn't see that coming. Mad.
yeah, that was actually mad. Yeah.
And then Meme
Uh,
Cartel hitting plats. Okay, where is he? I've got him under Era still. He's at plat. Man's making moves. Well done.
mm. I definitely recognize a few of these names. It's just now sort of like a new tournament. It's going to be interesting to see how it's going to go down. Really, I think this is probably one of the first matches. No, thereabouts.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
the one match we had yesterday it was Eclipse versus ZC.
Mm.
And ZC took that series. And now this is the second match. So this is Tempo up against TUKS. And then on Sunday, we might have another game. But I can't confirm anything just yet.
I'd say for sure. Yeah.
All right.
Well,
So
it's definitely interesting considering how intense the schedule is. it's you've got like about what 1, 2, 3
three tournaments
tournament,
now.
3 tournaments on hand. When it used to be, one.
Just medal state.
It used to be Medal State and or whatever, right? Now you got all these tournaments running at the same time. When there's stage 6 as well, which is
I mean, it just happens all the time.
yeah,
Like whenever we have
exactly.
League of Legends tournaments, it's always fucking load shedding, and it's such
In,
a
in
pain in the ass.
yeah, exactly. Like, you know, when it's not needed, you know.
Like
It,
I just, and then particularly, I think because then now I can kind of reveal it because it's been somewhat revealed. So first we got Metal State, we got the UraKen, and then we got the Oryx tournaments,
mm.
the Nam LOL tournament that Oryx are organizing, which Era will be taking part in. So I will be one of the streamers on that. We are gonna have some try and get some other casts, other streamers on it as well. Want to bring more exposure just more to like Southern Africa of League of Legends, not just South Africa as a country, but like everything else as well, because there's so much potential we have, not even just in South Africa, and I think we need to try and get this out there.
And it's definitely better if you also just not just South Africa, right? It's if you have more of a player base overall in the southern player base.
Yeah,
I
exactly,
just said that
exactly.
word twice. Then like the likeliness that right looks at the market and it's like, oh well, I guess maybe we should make a server here. Might be worthwhile, or maybe even a shard, right? Rather
Yeah.
than
And I guess the meme that everyone talks about is like they did a world championship and they talk about all these teams across the world, and it's just it says, oh, it's a world champion, all teams are included, and then there's just Africa, which is just
yeah,
empty.
exactly. It's sort of like this is a worldwide sport. We've got teams from everywhere. You know, in worlds we got every region except Turkey now that they completely dogged them to EU Masters. All
Yeah.
right,
So
that's
now
I
we
think.
should be getting into Champ Select now. So let's add the appropriate music to get ready. So,
Okay then.
so okay. So we should be heading into game relatively soon now, as we are
And we
now
are.
into Champ Select. What are we gonna see here? We haven't the I don't think we've actually been able to get around what meta is right now. I know what Eclipse
Mm.
were playing very like trying to really abuse those really aggressive junglers.
You got this,
But
Justin.
yep, my English is just not happening today. It's
Mm.
just not.
Yeah.
But so first ban Kata. So understandably, there's
The
probably the
Jinx
Kata
ban.
main there. Oh gosh, taking
I
that
like that.
away.
I mean, it's just sort of broken at the moment. I think it's a must ban, really. If you're playing anywhere sort of like competitive, absolutely broken for whoever really gets it first pick. Definitely a
Yeah.
few other options bot lane now. Probably like just narrows it down to sort
Oh,
of.
the Milio gets
Ooh,
taken away. I do believe the meme
okay.
cartel has been spamming that quite a bit.
I think
So
yeah, I've also seen one or two games of him playing it as well. So
it's
definitely
quite a
check
lot
that
of
out.
fun. As then the Vanguard's being taken away in the mid lane. I think that's being taken away from Droopy.
Mm.
But the Jinx, as you said, Jinx is quite overpowered right now, especially with a lot of these enchanters supports. Like her scaling just works super well. The
Mm.
attack speed 80 carries have just kind of taken over. If you're playing Jin, I want
Yeah.
to say you kind of putting yourself on the back foot. He can be strong, but if there's like three tanks, so it's going to be very hard for you.
He's just not really good in the current meta. I mean, if you're
He's
just, I
very
mean, you,
situational, I would say.
yeah,
Very situational.
he's situational. Yeah, obviously, you can sort of play it if you want, but there's just better options. The Twitch being instantly locked in as well. Just you talked about sort of the hype scaling, attack speed 80 carries, and Twitch is one of them. But I don't think necessarily it's the first option. It might just be something for comfort.
Yeah, one thing's for sure is I do think we are going to see possibly a Lulu pickup on either side. I wouldn't be
Mm.
surprised. Or even possibly a bit more of an engaged support. I know the meme cartel also is known to play his Thresh and Rakans, as there we go. We got his Enchanter engage. So that's going to be huge for him.
Now the question is if he locks in something like the Zaya. I mean, probably going to look for it in the second phase. I imagine. Not
Yeah, I mean,
actually.
we got
Wait.
a little bit of trolling here with
Yeah,
the.
little Soraka hover.
But we should hopefully. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw the Zaya Rakan, but at this
Mm,
point, you got to pick it in the first phase because it will be banned out second phase, without a
yeah,
doubt.
exactly. And I don't think I think it's quite even between Twitch and Xayah, especially if you got a good lane going for TUKS. I think this Xayah lane could scale quite well. All down to execution. I don't think one
I'm
champion's really stronger than the other in the end, though.
Yeah, okay. So one champion, these two junglers, I would say are undoubtedly two of the strongest junglers that we have this patch. Jarvan being the superior jungler, I think, right
Mm,
now. His buffs he received a couple patches ago, he's just been soaring up in the win rates. He is just really good setup. And there's the Lulu.
yeah,
Kind of saw that
this
coming.
Just really not anything of a surprise. Got a Twitch Lulu, got a
But then
great
also,
amount of peel for that. That's actually the Kaiser lock-in as well. Deciding not to go for the Zaya.
I mean, maybe the synergy Kai'Sa Rakan does work out quite well. I mean, if they have the
Yeah.
skins, then that's even more pog. If they got the skins to match. But
Mm.
then speaking on the Fiddlesticks as well, Fiddlesticks also is quite strong because they changed the XP and everything. You earn more XP if you just farm out your camps rather than forcing ganks. So hard scaling and hard farming junglers also do pretty well. So it's all about that team fight, all about that hard engage, as I would say.
And I think it's all down to the solo lanes. We've got these last few bans coming in, Gragas as well as Gwen being banned. Haven't actually seen that much Gwen being played, but I don't think she's even a bad pick at the moment.
Oh, yeah, McLean, you need to chill and chat there, bro. Well, I'm not.
Oh no.
I don't know how I'm going to respond to that message.
So a little timeout.
Yeah, but we do see that it's going to be the Gragas and Nivea taken away. I believe that might possibly have been targeted towards a Gragas mid or a Gragas top lane, if I'm correct. And then K'Sante, Gwen, they don't really want that top laner on anything comfortable.
Yeah, for sure. Now it's about what they pick for the mid laners. I mean, both solo lanes open, but you've got quite a few options dropped for it.
Up window, lol, please. All right, I'll make it bigger. Let's make the client bigger, boys. Whee!
Right.
It's not just covering, but I'm gonna put it down here. There you go. Is that better? Is that better?
Just don't let him see your face. This is why we got get with some of those.
This is why I gotta like sort this stuff out. But like,
Mordecai's locked in instantly. All right. As well as the mouth.
kind of thought that out. Okay, there we go. Window size is bigger, but then we do see the Mordecai is going to be picked up in the top lane. It is something Veteranx is known to play. One thing I know for sure, he does play it quite a bit. But McLean, what I mean is, you are literally Ryan Gosling. You are literally Ryan Gosling, my guy. And then the Casio.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a spicy one.
Okay, Casio locked in there. Just myself. Had to mute my mic.
Right, I'm gonna just do this real quick.
Ooh.
There you go.
Okay,
No,
so
there we go. That's easier.
okay.
But so what we're seeing there, so this is going to be Droopy and the Casio mid, Toby on the Mordekaiser. And that is Veteranx on the Twitch with the Lulu. Very, very overpowered combo down that bot lane. One of the most popular ones starting up. We got the hyper-scaling Jax, we got the hyper-scaling Fiddlesticks, and then the Malphite Engage, along with the Rakan Engage. Quite frankly, I don't know. Like, there's a lot of engage here. We're going to see these fights are going to be feisty.
For sure, and really in the bot lane, I'm not sure if it's just going to be a snooze fest. Really, I just want to see what the meme cartel can cook up on that Rakan. Sort of in that Kai'Sa lane. I'm not thinking you're really looking to scale out compared to Twitch, but
well, I'm going to start the predictions going. So let's just see how many supporters we have today in chat. Are we going to see Era rise up? Are we going to see TUKS bringing out their best? What do we think we're gonna see out here?
Well, I mean, so far it's like pretty much
fight. I think
fight. Yeah. Instantly, it's gonna see that bar swaying left to right. I think I've got 9.1k on me, by the way, so just been stacking the channel points. I don't think.
Yeah, man's holding onto those channel points hard. But
like one day you're gonna set one of those like unattainable channel points things, and I'm just gonna be there.
I already have set one. I've tried. There was a community one I've set up now, so now it's 100,000 points, and I'll do a cooking stream.
All right.
100,000. So my mods and all that who've been stacking up all these points can kind of just make a group communal effort if they want to see who let him cook and why you should not let him cook.
Why you should not let him cook? A documentary, maybe. So far, all right. Sorry.
Yes. So what I'm seeing is side. Okay, so if TUKS win, it's solely a support diff, nothing else. No cap.
No cap.
Dead ass.
Straight
up.
Okay.
Yeah, dude. Okay, I can agree with you on that one. You know, I know Meme Cartel's your boy. I know I played along all of you. I know he's your boy. So mad respect for that one. But one thing I do see is that they have got two very strong side lanes. So Cassio will be a very strong side laner, but will she be able to side lane against the likes of a Jax, who will also hyperscale just as hard as she will?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's sort of interesting to see how Amatox are going to play out the bot lane, as I said before, really. I think McLean has a point when he says that it's going to be the support that influences this match, really. When you've got a comp with a lot of strength, really. I guess Robbie cooked up or something that, personally, I think is pretty good.
Yeah, who let him cook, or just patience and let him cook.
Yeah, exactly. Just let it boil, let it froth at the.
And I think, like, especially if that Mort Cassio is able to build a bit of a lead, it can make it very hard for any engage on the side of TUKS. I shouldn't say on the side, but like a lot of their engage requires dashes and whatnot. So if Cassio drops the miasma, the perfect miasma, Fiddlesticks can't R, Jax can't jump, Kai'Sa cannot ult, Malphite can't ult, Rakan can't W or ult. So this Cassio pick is going to be is the instrumental pick, which I think is that Tempo needs.
Yeah, at the same time, though, what I'm a little bit concerned about is that that's just down to execution. Obviously, sort of once the cooldown is used, once Tux plays around it, they have that obvious engage. They've got, pretty much just an insane wombo that I think there's tons of follow up to, obviously. So if they can execute that, they can sort of play around the cooldowns. I think there's definitely a way around it. But when you've got, so much peel for the switch, you've got Lulu, you've got even sort of a bunch of knockups to keep him away. These team fights could be very difficult, and I think even harder for this TUKS side compared to Tempo.
Tempo, I think, have the execution a little bit easier. All it takes is a good flag and drag into the Cataclysm. Cassiopeia drops the miasma on whoever's in the Cataclysm, and they aren't getting out. That is a dead person. That is dead. You are dead. You are gone. Goodbye.
For the gray screen.
Like you're a gray. At that point, you just become a gray screen enjoyer.
At that point, absolutely. So wait, are you in?
Yeah, I'm just waiting. Like, okay, there we go. I am in. So I'm just gonna pause.
Sure. Oh, this thing.
Hello there. Hello, Mr. Darth Kirisu. Welcome to the stream. I'm trying to alt tab to OBS, but it's not happening. So let's set it all up quickly so we can scoreboard, time controls, chats, objective timers. So I'm gonna start at 9 seconds. No, don't worry, the music's gonna go off with the cast. Don't you stress, my guy. Don't worry, it'll be off. I'll turn it down more next time, but I'm just hearing Fiddlesticks dancing constantly. Casio, Jarvan, Fiddlesticks, let's move the Jacks up there, and alright, and now we should be good. I'm here to bang Rom. Alright, casting, we are going to be, there you go, we should be in and ready.
Okay.
Hey, thank you for the mega hot shot for the follow. Welcome to the stream. All right, so are you on 9 seconds?
I've got a 9.
All right. Okay.
So
on countdown for me. So 3, 2, 1, go.
Awesome. Let's go.
So we are now officially in game for this series. What are we gonna be? I could just hear Fiddlesticks dancing constantly for like. Just like I
liked it as well as
it's a banger, but
absolute banger.
But one thing I have to say at least is I have not seen Steve-O play in quite some time. I've been last time I remember playing with him, he was playing Kale top. So curious to see what he has in store for us tonight.
Exactly, and I'm actually interested. Has he recently joined? He's sort of
he's always been a part of the esports scene, whether it's competitive or whether it's as a spectator. He's always been up
even
there.
Scholar. I think he's been in Scholar, if I'm not correct, as well.
I think so, but a lot of and then Meme can't tell being a member of Era at one stage. So seeing that he's going up against his old, well, his old org, not necessarily his old team, but curious to see like how much he's improved, because I've been keeping up with him, like seeing his progress, and Milio and Rakan seem to be his top priority picks now. Milio is going to be spotting out Daddy Saurus. This will drop a ward in.
Dashes away. No XP collected from it, however.
Wait
Being
a minute.
consequential.
Hold on.
But then,
It is a Malphite mid.
oh. Okay, wait.
Still
We didn't even pay attention to that. That is a Malphite mid.
Oh yeah, that was
Okay then. That
interesting. Interesting
Yeah.
indeed. I didn't move that.
we completely missed that. That's I completely missed that at least.
So he's still a part of Era, and he was never in tempo. I know he was never in tempo. Don't worry, Michael. I didn't realize that he was also playing for the TUKS team as well. Well, that's just me. But
Toby going in for a bit of a trade there. Right, rather than maybe Jax going in for the trade. Coming out worse for wear.
one thing for sure is I don't know how well the grasp is going to be into the Cassia lane. Rakan goes for this hard engage onto Veteranx, drops the ignite exhaust, but he will walk out as he did start with the Q. But at the end of the day, that is a lot of pressure exerted already in the bot lane from TUKS Esports.
The summon is used, however. Still got both the heal and the exhaust. No cleanse for Stevo. Should he be exhausted? Just gonna shove in this wave. Take the amount of XP. Gonna take his part as well. So we're going in
But
for
now
the
we see
trade.
a big fight happening in the top lane. Tobias a level down on the Jax, so trading in the big minion wave is kind of what you want to do there. This is close one there.
Bit nasty. Wasn't an
And-
isolated Q, but definitely made you gasp for a second.
Wait, how do I get so it's Muflet or Muflet?
With that.
Muflet in the top lane on this Jax. We're gonna butcher these names and Gazdum.
Yeah.
Gazdum.
Yeah, that's. Who said you didn't miss this? You know, mispronouncing the names.
Oh my
and,
goodness.
ooh,
Daddy Saurus getting a little bit on the greedy side, wants that first blood. But
I think
right
it was
now-
reasonable to definitely go for it. However,
Yeah,
Absolutely
especially considering
reasonable.
he had done pretty much his full clear. The only thing that is left in the jungle is his Gromp, and that is between both junglers. It's literally just his Gromp.
just full clear Freddy throughout it.
Like I can
Very chill early game.
Yeah, I don't expect too much in the early game from TUKS, especially with the Fiddlesticks being not really an early game jungler. Plays more around the late game. And now we see there is going to be a bit of an engage coming in from the Jax, who did already use the TP, while Tobias is yet to reset. So he needs to be very careful here.
I mean, if Toby does recall right now, he does want to get this wave shoved in, but time's closing in. This wave's just going to keep stacking and stacking. And he does have TP himself. But it's a bit of a tricky wave state at the moment. While Jax was behind. Sort of just looking to gain that XP. You don't want to lose that.
Yeah, and I think Jax is just going to try and hold that wave a little bit, keep it under his tower. Mordekaiser really does not have much of a choice. Has to either completely do a full shove or not. But both junglers are here. Daddy Saurus will find Luffy in the bush. Fear comes out and the suck begins. As now Jax does go for the commit there. Jarvan's going to have to go in the flash. Mordekaiser does use the E to get him out. Flag and drag will save him.
I like that E from Tobias a lot. He's silent though. Doesn't
Jax does have the Q. They could go for the jump, but not really
was-
going to go for that full commit there.
Well played by TUKS. Forced out that summoner on the Jarvan. No flag and drag into the flash.
Yeah, I'm just getting like
A lot less agency.
one thing is for sure. I'm very surprised we haven't seen a lot of action in this bot lane. Surprised that we haven't seen a lot of the Rakan hard engage, or haven't because the Twitch Lulu, they want the lane to go passively. They like the passive lane. They want to just scale up. They just want to farm. They don't really want to cause any fights unless the Jarvan is there. Where it's kind of a similar situation on TUKS, as I mentioned, with the Fiddlesticks. Like it's going to scale a lot more, and I think it's just better if either team could theoretically play for scaling or play for that early game.
And in terms of the bot lane, it's probably the latter for the early game. Sooner rather than later, that Twitch is going to start pumping out damage. It's all down really to those engaged tools and how Droopy really plays around it.
Yeah, and
overall.
one thing's for sure is the Kaiser Rakan duo is quite strong. But they are able to shove the way, but unfortunately it does Twitch and Lulu do just get back to lane in time. As now Daddysaurus is going to be going over to fight the Scuttle, but Luffy, Meme Cartel, and the rest of his team are there. Droopy is going to walk in. Knockup comes out from Rakan. Flag and Drag is available, but the Drag gets aggroed, gets knocked away. But there is a Cassio there who is cleaning up on Stevo. Stevo is going to have to burn the flash, but now Malphite has made their way into the fray.
As ult.
Yeah, Cassio is yet to use the Petrifying Gaze. Malphite also has the ultimate, but that is first blood over to TUKS Esports, and it does go over to Stevo.
It is a bit unfortunate for the Jarvan there, sort of just barely, I think, messing up at the flag and drag.
Yeah, I think what might have happened is they aggroed the dragon to prevent the flag and drag. Just want that little bit of extra damage. But now, Morflay, I'm gonna Morflay. Gosh, this is gonna be hard the butchering to the max.
Exactly. I mean, honestly, like it's getting harder and harder every season. Definitely not getting any easier. A little bit of support will come back.
Yeah, the Lulu does not want to give up any vision for free. As now both junglers are bot side preparing for this dragon. Mordekaiser does have the teleport advantage. Optimus Prime in a bit of danger, has to burn the flash to get away from the Kaiser W. But there wasn't really much of a threat there at that point, but that is now no flash on Lulu.
Definitely. Summoners being exerted everywhere. Even Stevo at the moment has no summoners.
Twitch is
vision
just
control.
Twitch gets hit with a knockup. Twitch does have flash available. Is like gonna have the flash. Kaiser does use the instinct. Does get the mass I can drag triple man knockup. Veterans will flash, but then Steve picks up another kill there. Optimus Prime desperately trying to get out alive. Fiddlesticks will use the, I think it's not the Scarecrow, it's called the Scare Storm. But that is, I don't know. So we're gonna do a little bit of cheating here. Let's do what is it called? It's called Crow Storm. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, lovely. Explosive early game so far for TUKS Esports.
Yeah,
definitely two planned.
And the Kaiser's doing a lot of work, getting a lot of damage off. And I think at this point, Fiddlesticks getting the level 6 before Daddysaurus did make things a little bit easier. There was no Cataclysm. They couldn't really lock anybody down. And the Cassio did not rotate. But I think Cassio is trying to build a bit more of a lead in lane. As you see, CS leads in the top lane and in the mid lane.
Barely keeping
but
that gold discrepancy.
Yeah, and then but bot lane Kaiser's in the lead as well as now. We see Fiddlesticks a little bit of lead. As well, Jack does drop the Grandmaster's Might. Mordekaiser having to run away. And that will be a flash from Foulet. And that is a dead Tobias Fate. Not Tobias Fate, Tobias Fate. Tobias Fate.
Just I kind of understand it. I mean, game's gone from bad to worse now. I feel like there was a bit of a positive when you looked at the top side, bit of a CS gap. As well as mid as well, and I was talking how it's keeping that goal gap kind of tame, at the very least. Only about 1k. And now when you look at it...
Now about 1.5, give or take, yeah.
Completely evening that goal discrepancy between the two as well. Makes me a bit concerned for Tempo, because I originally sort of thought that they had the better odds in terms of comp. We liked how there was a lot of insurance and sort of easier to execute. Or actually rather, I mean, makes it the other team harder to execute themselves.
Oh, it does look like Droopy is going to get it absolutely smacked up here by the Crow Storm and Unstoppable Force. And that is a dead Snake Lady. And there's not much she could have done there.
Luffy's absolutely everywhere on this map so far. About 4 kills and assists. Definitely sort of just influencing everywhere. That's about a kill in every single lane.
Yeah, so making sure he has influence in all parts of the map, making sure that his top laner, well, he didn't really need to worry about helping his top laner, getting his mid laner ahead, getting his bot lane ahead. And now Tempo are going to try and play this from the bottom up.
Absolutely. And now they sort of have to figure out from what angle do they play this, how to avoid giving the TUKS more space, more gold, rather. Because they have that condition.
Yeah, and I think one thing's for sure, especially if you're this Mordekaiser, I wouldn't actually be one... Well, okay, never mind. I was going to say you wouldn't really want to be going for these trades, but I guess there's So she didn't opt for a Sheen, so that W bonk is not going to be as hard. But
he is absolutely winning these trades out.
Oh, but Meme Cartel does spot out the rat. And they are going to turn on the rat. He does drop the quickness with his heals, drop from better ranks. But then the Kaiser drops the instinct. Fiddlesticks just going to do the sucky suck. And that is now 3-0 on this Fiddlesticks. And now Daddy Saurus and Droopy sneaking away the dragon. And it will be a steal from Tempo. That is a massive hit. Try and engage 3 people. Cataclysm coming out. 3 triple knockup. Lulu ulti doing so much. But Droopy unable to kite it out. Unable to get out of the pit. Has no flash. All Tempo get out of that is a kill and dragon.
I mean, it's sort of a better scenario, but obviously at what cost? That Twitch being immediately caught out there, I think just immediately set the odds to about 0. Finding that 1 kill and finding the Drake is definitely a bit more of a positive outcome, but you've lost so much at this point that it's really about a question if it's worth. I mean, you even got that shove out, and the Twitch is so behind at the moment compared to Stevo.
Yeah, and now we see there is going to be a rotation mid lane from Stevo while Rakan is soloing the Rift Herald. What an absolute giga chat.
Absolute Chad.
So
Meme Cartel.
He's inspired by Baoland and Core JJ. Or am I a boomer for saying those names now?
I think maybe you are.
Oh, goodness. But Toby does catch out the Fiddlesticks, does take him to Brazil, but then gets feared. Now he is going to be surrounded by multiple members of TUKS Esports. Now he's got nowhere to go, has flash available, but there is no real point in him picking it up, as the Herald will be picked up there. Multiple members drop in on Tobias, and now that is Herald picked up for TUKS.
Definitely just getting worse and worse. I feel like there's just a bleeding effect going on from Tempo, where they're sort of either looking for plays or just getting caught out. And if they're looking for plays, then they just proceed to get caught out. Definitely, I think, a time where you just need to slow down, sort of, because at the moment, kill after kill, really.
Oh gosh, so the Crow Storm gets summoned in the mid lane, but nothing much will amount from it there. We see the little camping marsh emote coming in from Droopy. Does know that he is the win condition, because he did get the shutdown on the Fiddlesticks. So he is quite strong, as the flag and drag is there. The Cataclysm is dropped as well. Malphite has nowhere to go, has no flash, has no ulti. And that is Droopy picking up his 2nd kill.
Bit of positivity, raise that team morale. Keep the comms going, not let them get quiet. And who else but Droopy? Sort of one of the members that you mentioned earlier could definitely help.
Yeah, I mean, like, one thing's for sure is he, as mentioned, he is quite a big win condition here. Doing quite a lot of damage over to that Fiddlesticks. With that miasma, makes extremely hard for anyone to get out, especially if it's the paired with the Cataclysm. So they just gotta be careful not to give the Cassio too much power. But now does have already has the Rod of Ages. Up, we see the flash coming out, and then the Grandmaster's Might. Is it still called the Grandmaster's Might? I think it is. Or Grandmaster's Challenge. But Daddy Saurus is there as well. Gonna drop in, gonna flag and drag. Massive shield coming out there. Counter-Strike does get dodged there by Tobias. Will barely survive, as the Daddy Saurus will pick up that shutdown onto Jax. And now the gold lead is getting smaller and smaller.
That's a good rotate from the Jarvan as well, and I'm definitely liking how Toby is playing this lane overall. Sort of having really good trades, having really good moments.
Oh no, what's going on here? We see the Meme Cartel does drop the ulti. Better ranks is very low under tower. The quickness does get dropped, but those are 2 very low health bars, and that is a Crow Storm over the wall. Malphite does have the ulti, will do the single target ulti plus the exhaust, and that is Stevo going unstoppable on this Kaiser. And Twitch, unfortunately, still struggling to find their footing this game.
I mean, at that point when it was sort of surrounded and Fiddlesticks was right there, it was pretty much over. There was not much you could do at that point, and TUKS are just using this goldie to their advantage, definitely not letting up. Where sort of Era have had a bit of relief in the last 2 kills. Can't let up.
Stevo's playing a little bit with fire here, is quite low. Cassio wants to make the roam bot lane, because if Cassio picks up that shutdown as well, that is going to significantly boost their morale this game.
Exactly. Definitely get them lightened and the voice comes.
Because
sort of just game on if that happens. Really, it's all on Droopy now. If you can get some extra gold on him.
one thing I do think is that this Malphite is not going to be able to cope very well in lane with the Cassio now that she's got she's got an item under her belt.
That Rod of Age is only going to get stronger and stronger, obviously. Absolutely.
But doesn't have the tier yet, so I believe she is going to probably be building towards that Archangels. But Droopy just needs to know that there's going to be a lot of people coming for him, but Optimus Prime going to help Daddy Saurus pick up that Scuttle, but there's a lot of damage coming from Kai'Sa. UraKen does grab the E, does have the Shurelias, goes for the quickness, gets charmed. Fiddlesticks goes for the suck. Twitch trying to kite it out as much as he can, but the Kai'Sa uses the ultra. I think it's not the Ultra Instinct. That's Super Saiyan.
Yeah.
As now Jax gets taken to the death realm. Mordekaiser is fighting him, taking a lot of damage, but Tobias doesn't look like he's going to win that. And then Fiddlesticks ults over the wall, catches out Droopy, will go golden. Optimus Prime drops the wild growth, and there's a flash over the wall. And that is going to be, is that going to be a dead Luffy? It is! Cassio kiting this out is so well. Optimus Prime saving this Cassio and making sure their win condition still is doing well. Oh gosh, I mean, where was I going to take that sentence?
As I said before, if there's more gold than Droopy, it's game on. But there's even more gold on the TUKS. They're just not letting out, really. And I feel like the times are getting picked out. They're just looking to try find something. They're sort of on the front foot, but instantly getting knocked down to their knees, really. Especially with just a few mistakes from the Twitch. It was really like a good effort to try and kite that out. But in the end, sort of just get hit slightly by that UraKen ult. I do believe like Meme Cartel is very familiar on this champion.
Yeah, this is one of his signature champions. He does love it quite a bit. They engage really easily. Drops the Giga Chad for us there. But looking at the gold, we do see that the Cassio does have quite a gold lead on the Malphite's gold. But separating the two top lanes, actually not as much you would have expected. That CS lead has kind of kept Mordekaiser slightly still in the same gold range. And Kai'Sa very, very far ahead of this Twitch. UraKen also quite far ahead of this Lulu. So that gold is very much all in that bot lane. And if that bot lane is able to continue to snowball, it's going to be very hard. As Optimus Prime does almost get caught out. UraKen drops the quickness there. Fiddlesticks got the Crow Storm over the wall. That is a double fear. Triple fear going on to Cassio. That is the Unstoppable Force catching Droopy in the back line. Miasma is dropped, kiting it out so well. But that slow is too much for the Malphite. As now Tobias is desperately trying to pick up at least one kill for his team. But he is just being kited and crowd controlled. And that is just very, very dead Mordekaiser.
Seeing the effect of this comp come in again and again, you sort of saw how Twitch, yeah, even Cassio as well, was getting attacked at every single angle. You had Malphite from River. I think...
Yeah, so we had Malphite coming out from Tower, we had Fiddlesticks coming out from the blue buff, and then they were engaging from River. There was just so many angles that they couldn't really deal with Cassiopeia with. But Daddy Saurus now will get caught out by the UraKen. They are going to go for the fight there under Tower. Steve-O tanking some tower shots. But now Cassio wants to fight. She's a lot of pings coming out in the top lane. But they are going to be thinking that they do want to take this tower with the Rift Herald. Flag and Drag does land. Fear coming out from Luffy. Cassio.
There's an opportunity.
Massive Miasma, triple Petrifying Gaze. But Jax gets onto Droopy. Double kill for Twitch. Kiting it out really, really well. This ally is coming in clutch. Optimus Prime giving that extra bit of shielding. I said it was a massive overstep from TUKS Esports. And they pick up some kills.
They're sort of over-eager there, where I think we're just seeing them step way too far forward, and Droopy just sees his moment, naming lights, press sort of that button, triple Petrifying Gaze. That teamfight was lost the moment they chose to take it. And that could be Baron to completely turn the game on its head. Tempo. Absolutely.
So there is the Jack has no TP. Fiddlesticks can't get there. They've got the balk on the Twitch Cassio with her 2 items. They are going to do this Baron relatively quickly, but it does look like they want to take a fight. With the Malphite still looking there, Unstoppable Force is active. Meme Cartel has the ulti as well. But that will be the Baron picked up the blue side. Crowstorm gets over into the Baron pit. Veteran second quite low, but will be able to Q to get out. But Malphite will flash on him there, picking up that shutdown. Tobias is going to be fighting onto the Fiddlesticks, but that will be him taking down as well. Only 3 members picking up Baron, but the most importantly, it got onto Droopy.
Absolutely. Keep the gold rolling onto him. Doing tons of damage at the moment. Gonna get that mid turret. But at the moment, you got Baron, 3 members.
Luffy with the with the Fortnite dance, bro.
It's absolutely, yeah.
It's
just
such a giddy
yeah.
like
Yeah,
spam. I
giddy.
love it.
Such a happy kind of look on him. But I mean, I'm sure there's a bit of stress on his face at the moment. Droopy.
Making sure to
Definitely.
clear all the bushes with the Q. Their Daddysaurus is going to be losing Flag and Dragon. This kind of just cancels each other out as Imcatel dodges it. But one thing I am surprised about with the Casio is she has not picked up the Archangels. Like, that scaling
That's
item
now.
is so huge, but I do think maybe she just didn't feel like it was super necessary and rather picked up the anti-heal for the likes of the Kaiser and the Fiddlesticks. But Jax does look like just going to go for hard for this tower. And we'll just jump out there. The Rylai's will allow him to catch on. Tobias will pick up this fight here. Grandmaster's Might is dropped. Counter-Strike will land. But that's a big shield coming out from Tobias. But that attack speed on Jax is hard scaling with a little tempo. But then Stevo is being caught up by Droopy. But then Droopy tries to do the Petrifying Gaze. Tries to pick up at least one. The wild growth shields from the Lulu. And they are all trapped in like fish in a barrel. And Droopy picking up that double shutdown. Does land the Q, does land the E, but then the Twitch picking up a double.
Oh my lord.
That is actually an ace coming out for Tempo.
In the span of a few minutes, not even a few minutes, about 2, they've managed to pretty much turn the game on its head. Look at the gold lead. It's down to about 2k at the moment. Still got the Baron as well. And they'll probably take down to tier 3, maybe even in him.
Yeah, like we got the Droop being spammed in chat. He is the Droop. He is the man, the myth, the legend.
That was absolutely insane. He was almost caught out there. And
but the Lulu, like this Lulu is the Lulu has come so instrumental in like keeping her carries alive. I mean, now the Twitch has also got 4 kills, has the Bork picking up the Kraken Slayer, and this is kind of what Tempo wanted. They didn't lose the game as hard in the early. They probably would have liked a better early game, but now they are reaching that mid-game spike with the one item pickup from the Twitch, and Mordekaiser almost picking up their second item there. So looking up for Tempo here as the two top laners walk into one another. Fight begins. Counter-Strike does drop there, but there's nothing that really Tobias can do here. The Jax is going to have the jump, but Tobias is just going to keep using the E, but the E is not going to be up for quite a while. But there is going to be the jump forward from the Jax. Oh my goodness. Oh my... Oh! Shame. Okay.
That is a really good effort from Tobias to get out. And you saw Jarvan rotating over as well to try and turn it around. That could have been absolutely sick. And I feel it gives some
Alright, so Twitch is going to be going for the fight here onto the Kaiser. Kaiser didn't get a lot of damage from the spray and pray.
He's dead.
He's dead. I think he's dead.
He's ticking.
He's ticking over on the poison. Is it going to go? And he gets it. Better ranks. The Bork buy is doing so much now with the Lulu shield. Oh my goodness. And then the Crow Storm coming out. Oh no. It is all falling apart now. They're forcing to make these engages. Flag and drag, but the Malphite will use the Unstoppable Force just to get out. The Cataclysm is there. No Miasma needs to be dropped. That Malphite is not going anywhere. And now that is another kill going up to Daddysaurus. And the gold is dead even.
It's got to slow down. It's just continuous bleeding, continuous lost fights for TUKS. And they're literally at the position where they're losing. They have managed to have the game completely turned around. They've got almost sort of no influence on the map at the moment. It's just got every single member of Tempo coming out and winning fights. And it's very hard to play at the moment. And Tempo are absolutely happy with this game state. They're just going to keep going, keep scaling.
Yeah, playing exactly how they want it. They're going to be... Are they going to be gifting over this red buff? Nope, the Jarvan is going to yoink it.
Yeah.
So I think Twitch might have wanted the red, but at this point, I think they're kind of just playing for the vision control. They're trying to just keep track of where everyone's going. With Baron spawning in a minute, next dragon only up in 2 in a bit. Just playing it calm, and I think it's looking up for Tempo.
And I feel like it's the same position that Tempo were in a few moments. They were just taking fights and losing. They were getting caught out constantly, and sort of in span of a few minutes, a few one-team fights, a few miracles from Droopy, and well, they're in that exact same position. Well, really for TUKS.
Yeah, so now we do see the Casio does have 3 items already. So she's got 178 CS. Gold lead is 10,000 to 7,300. She has got, and then the gold lead between the Twitch and the Kaiser has also only dropped around 2,000. The gold lead between the two supports around the same. Top lane also looking quite even. So it's also a matter of teamfight execution. And if they can play around, get rid of the Fiddlesticks ultis, getting rid of any of that hard engage, it is a pretty easy team fight for Tempo.
Might say there's a lot of deep vision here, and they might
so
actually.
They are gonna try and look for a cheese. Acacio will drop the Q in the bush. Will pick up the Malphite. And
Taking back vision.
At least they're all. Oh gosh, there's a lot. There's a lot of people there that are looking for this team fight. There is no vision available. Oh, they do now spot him with the flag.
They do have mid prior, by the way. Tempo have shoved out that wave, and now they might need to respond.
They do want to go for Baron, but the Fiddlesticks trying to get an angle. But Meme Cartel here maybe overstepping just a little bit. As we see the Miasma is dropped there onto Fiddlesticks. Fiddlesticks taking a lot of damage, and that is going to be the pullback into Miasma onto the Rakan. Rakan will tick down with the demonic embrace burn. And that was
literally barely anything used, by the way, for TUKS. So they're just going to go ahead and start Baron. They absolutely want to take a team fight. Should they fight it? It's all about like Luffy if you can steal, but he's so far away. He's doing his Krugs at the moment.
Oh, what? Okay, Twitch is back now. I believe they were going to attempt the Baron, but the jungler was there, despite the Rakan engage not being available. We see the flash Brazil, but then it gets cancelled. Very, very strange interaction. But now Kai'Sa does have the Bork, so he's going to try and cut it out as best he can. The Jax is there with a counter strike, but then the Miasma gets dropped there. Twitch is on the spray and pray in the back line. Perfectly out of the Crow Storm. Mordekaiser is just holding on, and Twitch picks up a double.
That is absolutely insane. That Toby gets away with that play. Literally flash ults in. The rest of the team are there, ready for it. Oh my god, Vidoranks. I absolutely love that play. Keeping him out.
And I think that was definitely one of the key things that they were able to do. They got rid of the Rakan, which was one of the big forms of engage. And with that, they only realistically had to play with the Malphite and the Fiddle. And and those ultis can both be very easily stopped or disabled with the Miasma, and I think they're using this Cassio lead to like perfection almost.
Absolutely. It's sort of that thing in the back of your head when you were watching earlier. It's like, I mean, if Droopy gets a bit of gold, gets a bit more gold, I mean, maybe 1 or 2 miracles and you're right back in.
Yeah.
And if you're in this position right now, if you're Tempo, and if you're a fan of Era, sort of just in a span of moments.
One thing I think is key, like what has been mentioned in chat now, is that there's been really good positioning coming out from Twitch. There has been a bit of change in his positioning, which has been the reason why these team fights have all been pretty straightforward for them. As long as the Twitch is not, or the Cassio are not caught in any of these major ultis, they can just churn out damage. They've got 2 points of damage, and as long as Cassio and the Twitch are not too close to one another, they can, either one of them will be able to kind of churn out damage, as I said.
And it's weird as well, because it's sort of like the TUKS just don't have the same amount of space that they did before to perform sort of those wombos and flank from every single angle, sort of making Droopy and Twitch completely unable to play the game. But at the moment, obviously,
like that Twitch is now, that is also a 3-item Twitch now. But now there are 4 members looking to approach Toby here. W does connect there. Toby is going to try and walk it out. That's going to be a lot of ults, a lot of damage. The quickness is dropped there. Now Toby is gone.
Oh, look mid. They're using this pressure.
But Fiddlesticks has an angle. Oh, but Daddy Saurus getting the vision with the flag.
Not enough. Too much darkness, really, to walk up any further. Just don't want to get jumped on. Yeah.
Like, I think they're able to keep vision control somewhat well. They can kind of, their way that they can face check bushes is fairly easy. A Cassio drops a Q in a bush, or the Jarvan drops the flag. And fairly easy ways to face check, considering these kind of team comps want to play around good vision.
Yeah. It's sort of just a game where you do have to play hyper aware. As if you do let up, there's just the chance you literally have a few buttons pressed onto you and it's sort of dead, and that could easily be Baron. It could be Drake. It could even be an inhib. I mean, if you're Droopy. Even Veteranks at the moment, because Veteranks is putting out tons of damage.
Yeah, I mean, he's a little bit behind in on the CS department. He's about 3,000 gold behind, but I think at this point, Twitch has got his 3 core items. He does, like, he's got the items where he can do AoE damage. He's got the health shred. He's got the true damage tank shred. I just think right now, everything is resting on these 2 carries. And luckily, the Jarvan and the Lulu have been doing exceptional jobs at keeping these carries alive.
It's definitely how we saw the comp earlier as well. I feel like overall now that they've got their positioning down to a T, sort of everyone's pressing the buttons they should. It's working out very well for them. It's all down to, I think...
Yeah.
I think it's all down to this next fight. Obviously, you got Drake coming up in 2 minutes. No Baron at the moment.
Yeah.
This next fight could probably decide the game.
I think this is going to be Soul or Tempo. They have turned around the Dragons, and they are 1 away from that Hex Tech Soul, which will be quite useful in terms of the slow capabilities. That's... Yeah, so now Cassie is going to be looking to has picked up the stopwatch, so does think that this next team fight, she is going to be the big target. So really good pickup there. While the Malphite finished the Force of Nature is going with the... looking like he's going to be going into the Frozen Heart. But Fiddlesticks is playing a bit of, I want to say he's playing a bit of Build-A-Bear. Does have the Rod of Ages, looked like he wanted to go for the Rabadons or the Shadow Flame. But he could be building Morellos, he could be Shadow, he could be building Rabadons. I don't know what he's building right now.
Definitely.
Oh, Rakan is taken to Brazil. Does get the knock up there. Rakan desperately trying to survive, but Tobias is going to walk out. Does know he's going to land up in the middle of their whole team. That is no more ulti for Mordekaiser. Just kind of dropping Meme Cartel a little bit.
A bit of a skittish movement from both teams. I think they didn't really want to pull the trigger at all, really.
It's all a matter of who pulls the trigger. Who is able to play the counter engage. I think Tempo played the better counter engage with the Miasma from the Cassio, as well as the Jarvan Cataclysm can kind of catch people off guard. Where TUKS also, they thrive on the hard engage and don't really have much more disengage.
Absolutely, yeah. And it's in these fights where sort of the idea of your comp that was needed isn't working out at the moment. I mean, now obviously, even with the mid prior they attained earlier, sort of they're going to be walking into them, and that's the ideal situation. If you are TUKS, you want them to walk into you, want them to be less vision. It's all about finding that one positional error and capitalizing on it, if you can find it, obviously.
What need to be aware of... So Tobias dropped into the back line. That is onto multiple members. But that is going to be... That is Stevo flashing away, but Flag and Drag coming out from Jarvan. But then Stevo tries to get into the back line. Druid picks up the kill there. Twitch is kiting it out. Malphite drops Unstoppable Force. Berank's cutting out, but gets hit by the Wild Growth, by the Lulu shielding. And is now dominating, as they are going to have to get that dragon very quickly. And now Jax is going to be... Jax pushes out top. And then Mordecai TP's the answer.
To make sure that he doesn't get anything for that play. Jax is just looking to see if the fight continues further, but it really didn't continue fast enough to find anything out of it. And Tempo just continuing this sort of insane rhythm. I'm not saying that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, please, you're gonna say it, because I was gonna say
rhythm.
it.
Rhythm. Okay, we got it.
We gotta say it. We gotta say it at some point. They're keeping up. They're really pushing the tempo here.
Tempo in, pushing the fold, pushing the tempo, and yeah, this is worse than mispronouncing names. Baron started. Luffy is up.
So they are trying to see if they can maybe bait out Fiddlesticks. There is no vision available for Luffy, so he's kind of gonna have to eyeball it. Control Wood is dropped. Crowstorm is activated. Twitch gets feared as well as Droopy. Veterank's gonna have to get out, kiting this out. Does have to flash away. All put into the Cataclysm. They're taking so much damage from the Cassiopeia Miasma. Twitch is desperately trying to hold them back line. Spray and pray coming out. And that is a double kill for the Twitch. Gonna drop into the queue once again. Getting out of the vision of this Malphite. No ulti available. And that is an ace. And that is Baron going over to Tempo.
It's not just Baron. It's also probably tier 1 inhibitor. Inhib. In the mid lane, I mean, you've got about 29 seconds in Stevo, 23 on Meme Cartel. Probably not going to go for the end. Can't really go for the end here. But definitely a great performance from Tempo. They could maybe look for more. Could maybe be a mistake. But overall, managing to perform a comeback that I think definitely really good. TUKS gonna look at what happened in that mid game. Look at how that really turned around. That single error. If it was to everything, they are gonna go for the end.
But that is going to be a shutdown going into UraKen, picking it up the Twitch. Crowstorm does come out, but Asaurus will walk away as well as Tobias. But yeah, I'm just looking in chat, like that Malphite kind of going aggressively. He did go for there's a TP coming out from the Jax, but then that is going to be the E pullback. Shirelius is popped by the meme cartel. Tobias now be chasing multiple members, but then the ulti comes out from Mordekaiser. Stevo is desperately trying to kite this out and will be able to using the instinct. As that is now... That is a dead Tobias and a dead Twitch.
Dead Tobias, dead Twitch. About 55 seconds on Toby, 21 on Twitch. Probably not going to find much. But overall, absolutely suffocating play. Meme Cartel.
Oh, the miasma was huge there, saving the Lulu.
I didn't even realize that. That was absolutely insane from Droopy. He's definitely feeling it in this match. You can definitely tell.
Man is definitely, yeah, he's been feeling himself, definitely, for sure. And I think... Oh,
wow.
I was like, what? I was so confused. I was like, Fiddlesticks, what are you doing, bro?
It's flashing at the Evelyn.
Petition for Droopy to change name to the Droop.
The Droop.
The Droop, bro. He's not the Drip, it's the Droop.
Exactly. Because he's not just any Droop, he is the Droop.
Yeah, he's the droopiest of the Droop. Alright, welcome, Spartan. I always know when Spartan's in chat because he's always resident sleeping my ass. But
exactly. This guy just drops into chat every single time and like just uses one emote.
It's like,
complains about one or two things, leaves. He sleeps, complains, leaves, probably sleeps again.
Yeah, so I think this Cassio pick is probably one of the smartest picks in this game. As if any of these hard engaged champions get picked off by the Cataclysm Miasma combo, it's so hard to even... You can't do anything.
You literally cannot do anything.
You have to commit to the fight, and if you're the likes of a Kai'Sa or Fiddlesticks, you're not going to be able to do very much if you're in melee range of a Jarvan and then a Cassio and Twitch are guiding you.
Good drafting overall. I know you can hear that, Robbie.
Robbie, we know we can hear it, bro.
I think it was in chat earlier, but we might be watching POV. I'm not sure.
So now
but overall, it's now down to pretty much this next fight, which is really with tempo at
it's do or die.
odds. Yeah, it's do or die for TUKS. It's very hard to find anything, but if you can find anything, I mean, it's 50-second death timers and everybody.
Yeah, and then now that Cassio is going to be doing quite a lot of damage. Does have 4 items, picking up that Zhonya's now.
That mid-wave as well.
Oh yeah, that mid-wave, that super minions are going to be pushing in quite hard. But then, one thing I'm very surprised about, that Kai'Sa is full build.
Yeah.
She is doing quite a lot and she's extremely strong. She needs to be peeled for. But the Twitch just has the better positioning.
Exactly. In the last fight, you could almost see for the TUKS that they literally had a bit of a one fight. They managed to kill Droopy. I think they managed to kill... was it Lulu as well?
They got the Jarvan. They got the Lulu and the Jarvan. But then the Twitch was just kind of left unscathed in the back line.
Yeah, he just opened up and loaded all his damage onto everyone. And they were dead, pretty much. I think Stevo finding it a little bit hard. But, I mean, with such a successful early game, it's all down to this next fight as well. There's Elder Dragon in about 20 seconds. I mean, a steal could be absolutely insane here, obviously. It's all on Luffy right now. And, wait.
But the minions are ending the game.
Yeah, as pointed earlier.
The is ending there.
It might just be a forced end to this game, really. Jax isn't even there. It's 4v5 for this Elder Drake, and probably the game.
Yeah, so now they can pretty much... The Mordekaiser does have the teleports. They can force a fight there. Bodusi Day Sword does go in there, does get the flag and drag onto Stevo, but then drops onto Luffy. Luffy's gonna have to burn the flash. The ulti does get burned there, and Mordekaiser flash over the wall, catching Stevo. Instinct is dropped, but GA will be spawned. Verank's in the back line, comfortably auto-attacking. Spray and pray is dropped, doing mad amounts of damage with the Bork Lulu shielding. Double kill for Droopy. And what is that attack speed from Twitch?
That was absolutely insane from better ranks than the rest of the team. It's over at the moment. Just Toby top, managing to just TP up, and yeah, that's pretty much the end of the game. Open Nexus.
Oh, we got the Twitch
Just a
flash
single in
over the
him.
wall there, but
Yeah.
insane comeback coming out here from the side of Tempo. We're behind the mid game, but now ahead in the late game, and they take game 1.
Again, brilliant performance from Tempo to bring that back. As I said, I was imagining that the comms were going to be really quiet. You know, it was going to sort of have that morale down and low, sort of going into every single fight and losing. But you sort of had those 1 or 2 sparks in each individual fight and pretty much just pulled it back by the 20th minute, which is absolutely great to see from Tempo. But TUKS are going to be asking themselves what happened and how did it turn on its head.
Lobby is full. Oh gosh, what is going on? Okay, so Matthew says this client, wait, you're streaming. What's up, no? Tell chat I say hi. If you don't show me that you said hi, I'm going to hydrate you to death.
No.
And then the stream is muted, so I can't hear it. Okay, so he's muted the stream. But yes, so I will probably be streaming the Zenith game on Saturday as well. So that I know that's huge because I know that's your team, Spartan. So I'm gonna be catching you live. I'm gonna be watching you all miss cannons. But I need to get my co-cast in.
Is Floppy still listening?
Wait. Need co.
Is Floppy still not listening?
He's not listening, but I told Chad that I told him. Chat says, well, he says hi to chat. So Matthew, Floppy Pun K, one of my mods, says hi. But hey, Galaxia, welcome, hello. We need a cannon count for me. Okay, what is Matthew doing? Give me attention.
Wow.
I'll send explicit selfies if you do. Why am I giving you the attention you want, Matthew? What do you mean?
might be time to become a Twitch kick streamer. I think, Justin.
Yeah, I think I'm getting some explicit selfies here that I'm not sure how I feel about that, but he's
Yeah.
The stream is muted. I can't hear you. My music is too loud. I'm showing your chat here, Matthew. Everyone can see what you're saying.
My music is... I turned down the music then.
Yeah, just turn the music down.
Exactly. Why don't you do that, huh?
Yeah, but it's Gromulon. Gromulon better than Demulon. True. Nerd.
Is Demulon even here to defend himself?
No, I don't think the Demulon's not here to defend himself, unfortunately.
Poor guy.
Hey, Foxy Vixen, hi. Hey, now give me attention. You what do I even do? Okay, I need to turn my music down, and I need to give Matthew attention. He's like a needy girlfriend, but treat Foxy well. All right, I gotta treat Foxy well. I do see Foxy has come to say hi in chat. Will do.
I mean, it's really...
Yes, sir.
It's gotta be there for the homies. Yeah.
Good.
I'm guessing Floppy's one of those.
Nino Lord is better than C Lord. You. Okay, so we give the art attention. We give everyone the attention they deserve in this chat. So we're welcome. I believe we're just waiting for the lobby to start. So I'll just say caster R.
You can get even more attention if you subscribe to the channel.
Yeah, okay. I'm not a money grabber. You may be money grabbing you, but
I was helping you out, bro. Like
you're shameless plugging.
All right, then into draft game 2 of this best of 2 between TUKS and Tempo. TUKS game blue side instead of red in the last one. And let's see what
I realized I need to give the prediction points, bro.
Oh, I actually didn't predict.
So choose outcome. So there was error there, but now we are gonna do it again. So Floppy. Okay, so goodbye. Okay, there we go. But now we're gonna do the prediction again. As we see, the Casio is going to be banned away. I'm definitely not surprised that the Casio got taken away. That was a very instrumental pick, and it kind of turned the tides for error.
I doubt Jinx is going to be left open. Probably gonna be the next ban for Tempo. Obviously, considering first pick for TUKS, if they can secure that, I'm pretty sure they'll be pretty happy with that. Absolutely
Yeah.
broken pick at the moment.
Yeah, and I just want to say thank you for the follow, Nix Incarnate. Welcome to the stream. I hope you enjoy. Yeah, so now we see so Twitch and the Casio get banned. We are not surprised. Very obvious that was gonna get taken away. And then Cassidy and Katarina. I guess they don't want that Katarina on the on who is it? Who's the mid laner?
Okay.
It is Gav. His dad plays the Katarina,
so,
but
so Jinx left open, but they opt for the UraKen for the Meme Cartel signature champion, ex-era member.
well, no, he still is. He still is on Era.
Oh, I'm so confused. Wait, what?
So he is. So he is on Era, and then he's also on his school team. So okay, to answer your question, Galaxia, this is the uni. It is the TUKS University team. So it's a bit of a South African duel up here. So it's very interesting. And then Meme Cartel, who is on one of the Era teams, also on one of the TUKS teams. But that Era team is not playing in this tournament, so he's allowed to play for TUKS.
Am I wrong to be surprised that there's no priority being placed on Jinx at the moment?
Maybe. I mean, the Ashe could be a flex. The Ashe is a flex pick. It can be support, can be ADC.
Yeah, very much. But I'd imagine, obviously, in the previous match, having it immediately banned out that want it. Lulu. Okay, the Ashe Lulu bot side.
Well, Lulu was very good last game as well, so they can't just wait for the next big hyper carry. But I'm also surprised the Jinx was not picked up.
Yeah, I'm really surprised. And I mean, it's literally available at the moment if Steve-O decides to go on and play it. But considering that it's open now, Kai'Sa will be locked in again.
So they didn't seem to be there were any issues with that ball lane. Their ball lane was very strong. They were able to come out of lane with a lead, and Kai'Sa herself was quite strong. So I think that bot lane they keep. There were no issues there. But I think they just need to figure out how they're going to play this mid lane as the Giga Chad is being hovered.
Dante, and he's locked in. All right, last time banned out, but this time, I guess, decides not to yield. That is a very bad pun.
Yeah, somewhat of a bad pun, but I'll give it to you.
It's worse than it's better than the tempo one, that's for sure.
I mean, the tempo one always has to be made, man. You can't not make the tempo joke in a tempo game.
Yeah. Jax being hovered and picked.
So they do, so they take away the Jax rather from the top laner. As well, he did pick the K'Sante, but the K'Sante could go mid because I've seen Caps play it mid, and apparently it's strong.
Yeah. I mean, Caps plays anything mid. Like if he feels like playing fucking Nami mid, he'll lock it in just for the shits and giggles to have fun. That's kind of being banned, okay, but now you got solo lane and jungle.
Yes.
Left full draft.
But now that is going to be the Kali taken away in the mid lane. There's a lot of prio on these mid lane carries, so it does appear that they are afraid of Zadif.
He had a bit of a hard lane, but he was playing the Malphite, in which sort of I didn't get to mention. He's sort of just there for the button, right? He got that piece of util, which is absolutely massive. And even if he is behind in lane, he still got it, right? And the ult remains the same.
Yeah, like the Malphite ult is still useful regardless how well Malphite does in laning phase. Yeah. I think particularly looking at this now, we see Jarvan is taken away as well as the Fiddlesticks, so the jungle respect is there. So we're going to get two completely new junglers coming out into the fray. All right, that is now going to be the Udyr band away. So curious on that one, but now I'm intrigued on what kind of junglers we're going to be seeing here.
Absolutely, and not going to have those two, same sort of junglers that.
Oh, wait, that's Rammus. That is a ram dog. Oh, okay,
let it begin, I guess. Sort of Rammus locked in. It could maybe be a flex tip pick for top, but I kind of doubt it. To a certain degree, it's not impossible. No, obviously it's it's Jack's top. No, Rammus, my bad.
And it's like one thing I do think is they have to pick AP. They have to pick AP. So because they are going to see the Kayn hover, so that is going to be a lot of AD. So aside from the Xerath, that is a lot of AD, and I think this Rammus pick could be quite detrimental to the Kai'Sa as well as that Kayn.
Absolutely, yeah. And now my wonder is sort of how do they play this out? Is it going to sort of be the same sort of issues they had early game, or I mean, sort of with this cross map ults that you got with Ashe, those util, got a Jax on Toby as well. How is it going to play out? Really, it's all about sort of mirror draft. Malzahar locked in as well,
And then,
looking
oh
quite
goodness.
different. Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
very different team comps. Definitely here. So one thing I am noticing about Tempo's team comp is it's very pick orientated.
Hmm.
So with the Malzahar ulti, the Crystal Arrow, and then the Rammus just flying in like the asteroid is causing the next big earthquake. If one person gets picked out, you're done.
Yeah,
You're done.
absolutely.
Like,
It's
so much you can get locked out down by. That is a good 6 seconds of crowd control with the Malzahar and the Ash Arrow.
mm. So then we have to ask ourselves if that's going to happen. I imagine probably will. I don't think really cross map ash ults are that hard to land. Obviously, maybe with like the comms in that type of situation, you're gonna be a bit more aware of it. So if your bot lane just scream at
Exactly.
you, ash ult, ash ult, ash ult, don't get ulted.
Yeah. So we are going to go to a small intermission, just take a bit of a break, get some water and all that. And we will see
Yep.
you all in 3 minutes when the next game will begin. Will Tempo rise up and win the series, or will TUKS take this and take it to a 1-1 draw? We will see you all soon. ladies and gentlemen, we are back into the fray once again. As now the sides have actually been switched around, I've realized now, so I need to do that. Oh gosh, I should have done that while we were on intermission, but here we are. So, as we can see, okay, I just need to make sure the teams are switched. So,
Oh no.
oh no.
Decided to switch around.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Yeah, so they switched sides, I believe, for the match itself. They had to switch sides anyway, but here we are. They are going to be blue. It's going to be blue side for TUKS Esports, and then it is going to be red side. They are going to be Era Tempo. This early game? Not much action here going on in this early game.
No, and there hasn't been like that since last game as well. Considering I don't really think they want to sort of risk it at the moment. It's not really about just the first game of, I think, the tournament for the both of them. So really just about not really caring. Sort of not really clear, considering it's both sort of enchanter lanes. I mean, obviously Rakan's got that engage, but got a knock up and pretty much it.
Yeah, and now with blue buff and the red buff beginning to spawn, Kane is not going to be going for the Raptors start. Is just going to be opting for a little bit of help there. And which is generally, I think, what a lot of Kanes do anyway. Like the Raptor start is good and all, but the solo start is just so much better.
Yeah, it's faster, I'd say. So.
And then looking again, the side lane pressure, which the Tempo have, will also be quite good as the game goes on. With that Jax, we saw what a Jax could do, even if it just goes barely even. Oh. And now we got a Malzahar. Oof, what is that damage from the counter strike?
So you love that. I mean, Toby, having played versus a champion in the last game, and putting on I feel like you put on a really good effort, right? I'm saying that sort of just as to how the trades went overall. Obviously, the KDA might not show it. You could tell.
We do see the gauge there. They do get Lucivo and the Meme Cartel do get level 2. But Artemis Prime and Veteranks will have to just back out a little bit.
So Steve does opt for the level 2 as well.
Okay, maybe the attack speed steroid is kind of wanted. They didn't really need to worry about proccing the passive. With the Rakan W does make it quite easy to proc.
Oh man, I got the Hellblades there as well, so I won't be too concerned. It's not like they're properly looking to engage at the moment. It's all about just this like sort of going better compared to before. I feel like just instantly the moment they got onto the lane, sort of they had not some summoners force, but they were just instantly shoved in, brought to about half health as well.
And like right now, it's just they want to try and push that level 3. Rakan and Kai'Sa want to get that level 3 early, want to go for these early fights, but now Rammus is looking top lane. Rammus is gonna fishing, so they do spot him on a ward, and Kane will be picking up the scuttle in the top side as well. As now Rammus just finishing off their full clear, while Kane appears to be going hunting. Oh, doesn't find the Rammus.
Not quite.
Like Rammus. Kai'Sa's just gonna be walking there. It does get spotted with the Ashe E. They know full well that they can kind of just freeze the way bot. And then the Rammus is just clearing out his Krugs. Bear in mind that is Hextech Rammus. That's such a pretty Rammus skin, actually. So now K'Sante is pushing up.
Quite behind at the moment as well.
Yeah, in terms of CS, K'Sante is struggling. But now Rammus does want to look for a fight there. So now Counter-Strike does land. K'Sante does not have flash, has got the Ghost. The Ghost will come out, but Rammus will land the taunt. And that is first blood going over to Tobias.
You like to see it compared to before, instantly being on the back foot. They put themselves on the front. And I think it's definitely great to see Toby now on that Jax. Beam Cartel
goes in for the knock up onto Veteranks. Luffy does make the way there. The exhaust comes up. That's going to be the flash coming out from Steve-O. A lot of tower shots being tanked, but Veteranks will survive. But at the cost of a lot of summoners.
And you saw they wanted try and mirror that pressure, but obviously Steve losing the flash for that and getting pretty much nothing. Even Dinosaur is going to walk up here.
Oh, that's a lot of damage coming out. Rammus does get stunned there, but Droopy does drop the space aids. But now we see there's 3 versus 2, so Rammus is going to walk it out, but then Droopy does get hit with the Rakan knockup.
It's a bit interesting to see sort of the both of the mid laners with pretty much no mana to fight with at that point.
Yeah, it's just like 2 mages just auto-attack each other. Now what do we do?
And it's like, well, shit. What do we do now?
One thing I do want to point out from TUKS' perspective, they have realistically only got 1 form of engage, possibly 2 with the Cassante all out.
Yeah.
But it's really the Rakan with the quickness, grand entrance that can kind of really set up for the Kai'Sa. The Kayn just has, if I'm assuming Kayn's gonna go red, so we'll have the knockup, but no real hard engage. Where Tempo have the Ashe Arrow, they have the Malzahar ulti as well as the Rammus just going balls deep.
And
it's just they're gonna have to play for picks.
Yeah, I mean, and it's a bit of concern. Like I can absolutely see what you're getting at. It's not like It's not like the meme cartel is sort of downing him for his ability to be able to make those engages, but it's a lot easier.
Because something going all out onto Tobias here, but
Wow.
Tobias is a bit further ahead. But then that will be a dragon trader in the bot lane. Oh goodness.
That gold lead's gonna absolutely explode top lane. There's no TP for Infilet, Cassante, whatever. He's just gonna crash that wave and recall, take his winnings. 2-0. Never mind. He's gonna side and take a plate.
Good Toby. We got Toby backers in the chat here.
Like to see it.
But the one thing I think Toby likes being on is these top lane carries, and I think Droopy taking a bit more of a back foot on the hyper carry, not on the Cassio with the Smeltar, playing around the team, giving Jax a little bit more time to have some fun. And I think the last thing you want to be hearing is this Jax is fed.
Yeah, this Jax is fed like 7 minutes in. Sort of like, oh well, I guess our top lane's lost. And I mean,
I don't even know how they're gonna realistically deal with this Jax. They're like, who's gonna kill Jax?
Exactly, and you sort of tried to look for those other pressure points on the map. They were like, all right, listen, top lane's a bit of a struggle right now. I guess I'll just go bot side, go meme cartel. All right, let's set up a gank. Almost managed to kill Veraranx, but managed to lose your flash. A bit of a losing exchange.
And now we do see there possibly is going to be a bit of a fight there. The E goes wide from the Zera. But then that is going to be the Nether Grasp there. And then the flash coming out from the Zerath. As I think Luffy was looking for a bit of an engage there. But to no avail, unfortunately. As now Rammus has found the Kayn, the edgy E-boy, taking his Raptors. We do see the smite there coming out, trying to get us a little bit of help. It doesn't give health anymore, as Daddy Saurus will walk away. Stevo and Meme Gontel have walked up there. And doesn't do much. Rammus has opted for the Bramble Vest first, so any healing is pretty much useless at this point in the game.
Keep in mind that now that Ashe has level 6, so those cross-map ults could very well pretty much sort of start or end a gank. Save a life or end one. So it's all down to Veraranx and how he uses that. Something to keep an eye on. So far, I mean, Tempo have just sort of taken control of the game. Definitely on the front foot. Obviously with Toby with that massive amount of gold.
Yeah, kind of forcing the Cassante onto the back foot here. Like, denying him minions. Like, looking at him top lane right now. Like, Toby just walks up. Cassante is barely keeping in XP range. And then it's just slow stacking that wave.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, even mid lane, there's a bit of a CS discrepancy for Droopy. Managing to win out a few trades, as we saw earlier, with that Nether Grasp.
It is called Nether Grasp, right?
Yeah, I think so. Now I have to check, because I actually never knew it was called that. Yeah, Nether Grasp. Yeah, that is exactly right.
Okay, huge.
Good stuff. Huge.
So, I'm surprised I got it right. I thought I got it completely wrong.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the only thing you got wrong last game, I think, was Kai'Sa's ult, which is Killer Instinct.
Killer Instinct. I just called it Instinct because I knew there was something before it. But okay.
Yeah. It's
I mean, I feel like you would be the person to know about that.
Yeah. Who would have thought?
Who would have thought Instinct AD would know what the Kai'Sa ulti is?
All right then.
So
that's Rift Herald as well, as we were talking a bit about nonsense, using that pressure top side to its fullest. It's all about that goes. I think sort of with Kane hovering bot side, if they can get away with it, maybe there's a chance for a gank. But Gankika.
Yeah, like, so side lane wise, Tempo are relatively well set up. Especially with the Jax being as strong as he is, so he'll just scale very well into the mid to late game. So they don't really need to stress too much about him. Going for these really good trades here. But now Verang's going just head balls deep onto Steve with those auto attacks.
I think
But still, nothing
absolutely
much
feeling it.
happening there.
So,
Oh, shame, man.
things that could happen.
Kazante expressing his sadness. But there are pings to garner the Zera, and Yumkata goes for the engage. Luffy is there as well. Optimus Prime does get charmed, but there's going to be the flash and the wild growth burned once again. That is another attempt at this bot lane gank. And they are just still not able to do it. Tobias gets pulled under tower with the all out. But nothing happens as both sides of the map
It's a bit
Tempo.
frustrating, yeah.
It's kind of dodging any of these attempts coming out from TUKS Esports.
Exactly, and you're just looking for some relief. All right, we need to find something on Stevo. Try to get some gold into bot lane, even Luffy. Try and stack. And you're just not finding it. You're just continually sort of having those trades and just Ludo ult and single action. They're pretty much at turret, cutting them out. Bit difficult, but Daddysaurus being put some pressure.
So now Luffy, there's going to be 3 people fighting onto Daddysaurus here. He's going to try and just walk it out.
Oh.
Sivo's doing more damage to himself, as that the taunt is not up yet. The Zerath ult is going to be dropping on Daddysaurus. Does not have any magic goods as Kane use the Umbral Trespass, get into Daddysaurus. But that will be an immediate Nethergrass suppression, and that is now a very dead Kane.
2,000 gold in the lead. For Tempo, they're definitely not keeping their foot off the gas pedal. They keep going.
We're just going to avoid saying that exact word for the rest of the stream.
Exactly.
Everything but that word.
I'm literally probably going to look through the source for synonyms at the moment. Toby, just keeping on that pressure.
Yeah, keeping up the pace in the top lane.
Yeah, everyone's feeling so comfortable as well on this Tempo side. I feel like TUKS, they're desperately trying to find something, but it's just resulting in bleeding out gold. And now, sort of 12 minutes later, you're hearing sort of 2k gold behind.
Yeah, and I think the safety and security which Lulu does add, it just makes it really hard to go for this hard engage. I mean, considering if the Rakan lands the engage, that's all that they have. The Kane can realistically can go from the wall, can go in the back line, kind of try and get some damage down. But they don't have enough to burst through the Lulu shield and the wild growth.
Yeah, absolutely. Rift Tower being launched up there. Going to be quite a few turret plates for Toby. About 350 gold. That's sizable. Considering the fact he has a ton of gold on him already, it's definitely not something to be scoffed at.
Yeah,
that's all really.
Yeah, and with this, he did build the Sheen, so he is kind of build-a-bearing a bit. So wants to get the Bork early, and then wants to possibly build into the Divine Sundra or the Trinity Force, really depending on what kind of laner he wants to play as.
Kind of crazy. You can just walk up there, you know. Well, the amount of pressure he has, obviously, it's not too surprising, but to be in that kind of state, it's definitely going to feel great.
Yeah, I definitely have to agree on that one. It's just all a matter of, like, how it's played out correctly.
Yeah. So now the TUKS probably want to find something to break this flow that they've got going on so far. I mean, going on into late game, I don't feel like, obviously, other than the Jax, which is a pretty good condition for the late game. Okay, never mind. Yeah, Tempo have the late game, I think.
Yeah, if they are able just to get the Kane onto his red form, or let the Zerath just poke out from the side lane or from the mid lane just comfortably, they could maybe pull something off. But the one issue that I think is going to keep coming up is who's going to deal with Jax.
Exactly.
Like Jax is now, he has almost got that full item. Kazante is losing half his health every trade that he goes, and that's just going to get even harder and harder as the game progresses.
And even then, you've got a bit more gold on Droopy, who last game, and probably this game as well, is going to be a really good influence. It's just, and also outside even, I mean, there's a bit of a lead for Stevo, a little bit of pressure, but even then, with all the attempts that you've had putting pressure on spot lane, it just isn't sizable enough for you to say, well, at least we have sort of gold on the Kai'Sa. not dreadful, I'd say, but it's a bit worrying for TUKS.
Yeah, so now we do see the bit of engage onto the Lulu here. Lulu does have the wild growth, but that does look like it is probably going to be the dead Lulu. Ash ulti does land onto Stevo. Then Stevo gets taunted by the Rammus, and then it's now TP in from Tobias as the fight gets completely turned around. The Ash arrow, the Ash slope comes out. Jax drops the Grandmaster's Might, but then the exhaust comes out onto Toby. Xerath being the artillery mage he is, and tries to take down one, but is not able to do enough.
I find something here. Oh, damn.
So now Rammus goes for the flash taunt onto the Xerath, but then the Xerath will flash away immediately. Silence comes out, but they are not able to take down the mid laner, as Xerath will live to see another day.
Why can't we have normal names? Like, just why can't we have normal names in this fucking scene?
Yeah, I can't. This is redundant.
Oh my god. I mean, hey, okay, yeah, I'll take actually the Rammus name over the Xerath name. Toby, even here, I mean, he's
So,
probably
yeah,
gonna find a pretty good trade.
Yeah, so this is very much in favor. Okay, this is the Jax walking out of there. The taunt lands. His anti-heal onto the Cassante, but the Jax will have the leap up now. It will be available, but the Rammus going in with the. Oh my goodness, almost getting out alive, but.
Bit of a juke. Oh.
Yep, the Nethergrass drops out onto Xerath. Xerath does not have the flash available, but Lovey will be there to try and get at least one trade out. As in the flash space age comes out from Droopy. As now it is 7-0.
You literally think when you'd say, okay, now they can't find even more, they just find even more. They're just literally picking them down one by one consecutively, and it's worrying. It's absolutely worrying. You are incredibly comfortable, and you're sort of just running out of options, really, running out of time at the moment with the amount of gold that they do have.
And I think the one thing that TUKS are yet to able to get themselves on the board. They've committed so many ganks and summoners to this bot lane to try and take down that Ashe, take down the Lulu, and try and trade across the map, but they just have been struggling so much. And now with the Kayn, who is going to be starting the Dragon, Rammus is going to be heading down to the bot side, so it does look like this is probably going to be a Dragon going over to TUKS Esports. But now that is going to be the TP coming out from the Malzahar, because that is about half health on the Dragon there. Luffy might look to try and hop out as there's 3 members there from Tempo. As now it is 4 with the Rammus speeding in. Control wards dropped. Rakan could look for an engager. Kayn is trying to get the smite steal, but does get immediately suppressed into Ashe ult, into stuns, into a taunt. And that is just Mr. Rammus is just absolutely destroying the Kayn.
I think everyone should take a look at the jungle pet, by the way. He was literally one camp off the 1200 smite. He's dead. He's dead.
Yeah, this is dead.
Wow.
Like, at this point, Xerath is dead. The Rammus is too tanky. The Space Aids will take him away, along with the Leandri's burn. As now Droopy is on a killing spree. But,
okay,
yeah,
this is dreadful.
I do have to hand it to the smite on the Rammus.
Yeah.
Actually had the weaker smite compared to the Kayn. So, very good job
It's-
for them there.
There was hope there, and so Droopy was like, nah, you're not doing shit here, mate. Just
Yeah,
leave it alone.
screw you, mate. You're not touching this.
You're out. And I really cannot believe how... It's not even necessarily how quickly this gold lead has exploded, because it's felt less like an explosion, and it's felt more like bleeding. You
Yeah,
sort
it's
of
more
just
like
have...
It's slowly like twisting the knife a little bit. As Cassandra goes all out, brings the Jax under the tower, tries to fight him out. But this Cassandra is actually doing a lot of damage. Almost killed Toby. But Toby will walk away. Does turn, as now Rammus is there to save the day. Will fight the Cassandra. And is probably going to kill Cassandra, actually. As now Cassandra is just going to use his quadrillion dashes and walk out.
Oh, well, I mean, that was actually quite a bit of damage from Cassandra. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
Sort
Can
of
I
played
just
that.
say that is like riot balance in a
Yeah,
nutshell.
yeah.
That is a Jax with almost it's 1.5, almost 2 items. Cassandra did not even have an item. Bear in mind the Jax did tank a couple of tower shots, didn't have R, but like, surely Jax should just win that.
Well, back in his day, items weren't invented yet.
Yeah, I mean,
You got to do with what you have.
He doesn't even have a real weapon, and Cassandra's got
Exactly.
these two, like, I think they called them Tofos.
Topos.
And they're I think it's because it's out of an African culture, but he's from I think he's from Ixtal.
Yeah, he's from Ixtar, I think. that region. Thereabouts, Kiana.
We could be very wrong. We just need to.
Well,
We need to talk to the lore master. I don't know who's the lore master here.
Yeah.
But
Probably nobody at Riot after they fired all of their lore artists. And
But we won't get. There's some controversy there. But I think right now let's focus what's going to be happening in this top lane now. Cassante does drop the ghost, does get the stack there. That is Luffy, Meme Cartel, and the Cassante. Jax is now fighting 3 members at once. Does get exhausted. Does drop the Grandmaster Smite. Ad's going to burn the flash, but Better Rank does flash in, drop the W. Counter Strike is there. Will land the triple Counter Strike. Is it going to take down one? No, but the Umbral Trespass comes out from the Kayn. The Wild Growth keeping the Jax alive. But then the Rakan getting the shutdown onto Jax. But now this is the turn coming out from Tempo. Rammer's coming in, hitting onto that Kai'Sa. And then the Space Ace landing onto Cassante. A lot of damage coming out there. But will not go for the tower dive. As immediate turn there. Now Xerath using his artillery. I don't know what it's actually called, but I'm just calling it artillery. Because it's basically just an artillery cannon.
It is called Right of the Arcane. That is definitely not ever going to be used.
I'm definitely not going to remember that. Yep, I'm not going to say that. I'm just
but
going to say the artillery's coming out.
Not even going to bother. It's Xerath ult.
So I think what they are going to be happy about is they are on the board now. The only unfortunate issue is that 1,000 gold shutdown went to Rakan.
Yeah. So it's on top of that, it required that much effort to get that 1,000 gold, and on top of that, you probably didn't get it on who you wanted to get it on. That's just an element of frustration where, obviously, those little moments, as we saw with sort of Tempo before, wasn't this bad in this game, but when it's bad, you have those few picks, it can revitalize the team. You can keep them in the game, not completely just silent in the voice comms.
Yeah, and I think what I really liked about all those rotations that come out after the Jax. So now the Jax, again, is going to be getting the 2-man, but we'll walk it out. So
It's all about.
Yeah, so it's all about the rotations, and I think Tempo played those rotations quite well. We're able to go back on the counter-attack. It is unfortunate they weren't able to grab a kill, but they kind of just kept the pressure up, did not give any breathing room to TUKS Esports.
They did get a kill, actually. It was 1 for 1. Fight.
Oh, no, 1 for 1. Wait, they got one?
Wait,
yes.
did they?
No, not that I'm aware of. I don't know who.
Oh, wait, I might be wrong. I might actually be wrong, because I was like, okay, it's 1 for 1. And I guess that's sort of generous, considering the amount of, like, threat.
I think they got barely. I think Cassante might have died. I don't know for sure.
Maybe. Okay.
We don't need. That's not necessarily an issue. But one thing's for sure is that is one kill that went over to TUKS, and it's the kill that they needed, but it's just not on the intended target. As now Rakan going to be clearing out some wards. As now 4 members are on this dragon, preparing to start it with Malzahar in the top lane with the teleport. Very smart plays there. The Jax keep playing down here rather than side laning, as he does not have the teleport.
It's equal smite for both of them now. 4 versus 4. If Luffy can find this, it can revitalize the team. Let's see what he can do.
Luffy's going to be going for it. Sees on 2.2k HP. I dodges the Ash Arrow. Will hit the W. And steals the dragon. Will unfortunately fall there, but does pick up an objective for his team. And does delay the dragon stacking, as then the Rakan does get caught out by the jump in. Rammus does land the taunt there. That is a very dead Stevo. As now Rammus hits the scuttle instead of the Rakan. But if it's anything to say, that is free Baron for Tempo.
That's free Baron for a Drake. I mean, Luffy did what he could to make sure that he could get smite there, so it's pretty well played from him. But now you've pretty much sort of got the other objective, which is worth a lot more gold. And I'm sure Tempo won't really be too bothered about that trade, really.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I feel like they did pick up 2 kills in the process, but it does look like there's going to be a dive happening here onto the Xerath. They are just going to bait him out, hit the Nether Grasp, and that is just a very, very dead Xerath.
I mean, now to Tempo, it's probably just about wanting to close out as soon as possible. I mean, at this point, you know, it is the group stage, right? Correct, best of 2. Getting that 2-0 result is really good, obviously. Starting out sort of undefeated, so to speak.
Yeah.
Boost confidence in that Tempo team.
I'm really trying to think of another word for Tempo, but I don't want to say it. I don't know. I want to say Tempo. I want to make a Tempo line, but rhythm. Put on the gas.
Put on the gas, yeah. But with dancing, we're literally dancing right around this one name. And I swear, every single time we cast this team, it's just a nightmare.
It's kind of a meme too, but Luffy is going to have to walk away. Does get hit by the silence there. Ram is coming in hot in the top lane. Luffy has nowhere to go. Does have the flash, but the silence there. Honorable Trespass coming out. Not healing as much as he would have intended. But then Droopy picking up another kill is 6-0-1. As now Meme Cartel looking for the fight here. Onto this Jax. Exhaust coming out there. Grandmaster's Might is dropped too. Tobias going to walk away as his cooldowns are quite low, but then we'll look for the re-engage.
Wow.
We'll catch the Rakan, and that is a lot of burst coming out from this Jax.
Obi is absolutely on it at the moment. He's not letting up. Playing sort of swiftly on his feet. He definitely is feeling it at the moment, and so are a lot of the other members of this team. Oh my lord. What? Okay.
Okay, team fight happening. As you see, Kasante is going to be trying to fight 1v9, going all out. But then it does almost get the better rank of the Wild Growth, keeping him alive, and then Artillery taking him down, almost taking down Optimus Prime.
Wow.
Oh my goodness, Cypher coming in with the 20s gifted subs. Thank you so much. Oh goodness.
That is special.
And now that I fixed the actual over the events thing, it's just gonna keep popping up.
Okay then. You're just casually casting the game of League of Legends. So it's a cold night on Friday. Got promotion there. Start casting some League. All of a sudden, this like random guy called Cypher so gives you 20 subs.
This ain't no random guy. This is the team manager for 80k.
Hey, I'm joking.
Man coming in absolutely clutch, Cypher. Thank you so much. I'll do all the thank yous and everything as the stream comes over. But we do in all this, we do see there was a kill picked up again by TUKS Esports. They were able to take down the Ashe, and it did go to Dara. So that's kind of exactly where you would have wanted the goal to go. So Robbie is in chat here. He is watching. Hey Robbie, how you doing, Robbie? You admiring your craftsmanship in this team comp?
Good draft, Robbie. Also, fuck you. For no reason. Lovely, mate. He might even actually. Luffy on the run.
Yeah, so now Luffy's running for his dear life from Tobias. I almost call him Tobias Fate again.
You know what? Just go on. Says that name.
Tobias, oh wait, the Axe actually does go wide again. Does not hit the Meme Cartel. Does not land onto Zeroth. Does not connect anyone. That is a little bit of engage that they are now lacking.
On his comment.
And so now they are going to be looking for this engage here. Now the Jax is trying to get the counter strike. But again, okay, Rakan does land the charm onto the Jax. They're Jax taking a lot of damage, but they are not able to burst him down. Wow. And now finally has been reaching this next dragon. It is going to be the Cloud Dragon. So now this is going to be third dragon picked up for Tempo. I'm gonna get really sick of Life is a Highway, aren't I?
Yeah. Okay, alright.
Right, so we see the artillery coming out. They are not able to steal their Ramos. Does execute the smite there. Luffy not able to try and get into the pit. But now we are in the end game.
Well, it could have been sort of the moment. But I mean, it's just sort of, again, sort of that one team fight that could find everything, that one pick. And I mean, TUKS obviously being hesitant, a bit skittish at the moment, knowing the amount of firepower that Tempo have at the moment to just instantly sort of end this game. Definitely in no position to make a team fight, but it's all about if Tempo make a mistake themselves, which is going to be very hard to do. You guys have to consecutively make mistakes in order to have anything of a comeback for TUKS, so definitely odds against them at the moment.
Yeah, they don't have their carries on, not as strong as they would want them to be, but they are going to be doing a 4-man commit onto Tobias here. 4-man stun counter strike as Ozzy does land. Tobias is trying to walk away as quickly as he can. Rammus rotating there, getting onto Meme Cartel. Counter strike is landed, but Kane will shut down this Jax as now Rammus is in this 1v3. And whoa, that was a lot of healing coming out from the Proteon. As he's now still fighting this 1v3. Multiple 1v3s. And it's
No way.
still going. It's still going.
Oh my lord.
Still going. And he's
No,
almost getting
no,
it out.
no,
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 way
no,
he gets
no.
out. There is
Wait,
no way he gets
turn.
out.
No.
Oh, but the Umbral Transpose will get him there as now Droopy picks up that inhib in the top lane.
Oh my lord. I was ready for Rammus to sort of like turn around right as the pain comes in front of him. That was absolutely insane. But it was already insane. They're going to look to engage here. Veterax use the heal.
Yeah, so
But
Veteran's
my
gonna have
lord.
to walk away with the shields coming out from this Lulu. Will be helping out quite a bit in keeping that Ashe very healthy and happy.
Very healthy, very happy.
I'm gonna have to
Just like
change my boys doing so well. Oh, Nixie out here supporting the boys, supporting the lads. As Droopy is
Like
yet to
it.
die, actually.
Droopy's yet to die. I mean, actually, what is his KDA throughout the series? I'm pretty sure overall it's really impressive.
So I think if we're gonna have to decide on the MVP, so we'll do a vote in chat afterwards. We'll kind of see who do we think is gonna be the MVP. So now all eyes are on to Meme Cartel. He needs to get that perfect engage. Does drop the Shurelias. Do see the Lulu and do see the Ashe caught out. The Grand Entry does land, but will get caught up by the Ashe. The Wild Growth hits on Veteran. Going to have to go in the flash. Dedisaurus getting into 3 members. Taunting out the Cassante. Veteran trying to cut out, but Jack's getting onto that back line. Umbral Transport almost getting one, but Veteran's barely living. And Droopy then taking down someone on the back line. Veteran's cutting it out while Jack's dropping the Grandmaster's Might. Polymorph Luffy. And that is now 4 members dead. And it is just Steve-O doing his best. As now Toby 9 for 2 for 4 on this Jax. He is an absolute menace in this top lane.
And he's just going to chase him down. Literally nothing. I think Steve-O could do in this situation. 1 versus 4, got the wave as well. And it might be able to end, but it's risk per se. Not really. They're going to go and end the game.
Alright.
Tempo's been really impressive.
Tempo really pulled out all the stops here. Really kept their foot on the gas.
No.
Oh, and thank you for the follow, Bufflet. Thank you for joining us. And as you do see, the game is coming to an end. GGs are being said. And that is the series going over to Tempo as they go 2-0.
And in that best of 2 as well, that cannot do any harm in your standings. Absolutely impressive showing from Tempo tonight. I absolutely loved
Oh,
the play from a lot of members, I mean, especially Droopy.
thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much for the follow, Veterangs and Follett. Yes, so they are going to be Twitch VODs. The last night, I'm still trying to process uploading last night's ones, but I will upload this game onto my YouTube channel, which is going to be where's my camera? It's here. So the VODs will be uploaded there. Should be up by like sometime this evening, maybe around 12 o'clock latest. If not, it'll be up tomorrow morning if you do need to watch it and do some VOD reviews. Because I know Twitch kind of holds the VODs and it doesn't hold very long. So if you wanted the VOD personally, you can chat to me on Discord and I can get hold of the VOD for you if you want the hands-on file. But now, did we get anyone do the predictions? Are there any predictions? No, so we'll just delete it. There were no predictions. Delete and return the points, unfortunately. But
I forgot to predict. I was actually going to predict the Euro.
yeah, so we need to do a vote. So we need to hear people in chat right now. Who do we think is MVP of the series?
Got plenty of options.
We got a lot of options.
Number 1 is Droopy.
Here. So we got
Number 2
Droopy
is
for
Droopy.
one. Number one is Droopy. 2 is Droopy. 3, I think Tobias really came out in this game. And with Daddysaurus, I think you can't sleep on Mr. Daddy here, or Mr. Saurus. I don't know how people call him at this point, but can't sleep on him here. He did exceptionally well in that first game as well with the Jarvan. Very good setup. Played for his team. And in the Rammus also played very well for his team.
And I'd say it's really hard at the same time because I feel like it's obviously... It should be a thing that we emphasize. Toby did pretty well that game as well. I mean, gold was on to him and he used that well. But overall, in terms of MVP, we're probably looking between Droopy and
And I think
Daddysaurus.
if we're looking at like we'll take KDAs into account, take MVP like general things into account. There's a lot of things you're gonna take into consideration, especially in this scenario. So like looking at the damage graphs that with damage taken. So damage Jax did the most by far. Rammus, Droopy, and Veterangs all pretty evened out as well. But then damage taken, sit between Daddysaurus and Tobias, kind of tanking and chonking a lot of that. Surprised that the ADC took a lot of damage, but I guess that's kind of just ADC life because everyone's fighting you.
It was absolutely insane at the end, especially like with Veterax. He was just barely managing to survive that whole fight. And I swear, if he managed to survive that fight fully, that would have been absolutely insane. But eventually, after about, 3 years, Veterax died. So
Yeah,
definitely.
so eventually he had to die. But I think Droopy, KDA wise, did exceptionally well. Played well. You could if you haven't died in a game by the end of a game, you could say you played your lane to perfection.
Yeah.
Because
Absolutely.
a death is a mistake, and there are very few mistakes made here by Tempo. With less, I can count them out. We count the amount of deaths on our hand. It's five deaths.
5.
So
Very dominant game.
yeah, and then like CC scores, looking at the gold earned, CS in general. So Droopy with that 9.1 CS per minute, kind of smurfing it. And then Vision score supports obviously coming in clutch. Meme Cartel coming in with the highest Vision score of 80, 2.5 per minute, and then Lulu shortly behind with 67. Tobias fitting on that 54. And yeah, it's all around just pretty good Vision everywhere.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, chat, are we gonna get any answers from you? Because
No,
personally,
I think I want to give it as a jungle player. I want to give it to Daddysaurus, and that bed looking mighty comfy. Nick, bro, Nick, you gotta chill, buddy. You gotta chill. It's my bed, not yours. But Droopy, Droopy coming in, dropping into chat here. Well,
who else to advocate for Droopy other than
Droopy himself?
Wait, check my notes. Yeah, Droopy.
So
okay. What I was gonna say is I think Droopy deserves MVP. Really good game 1. Consistent game 2 as well. Definitely someone that they could play around. And I mean, in game 2, maybe he wasn't as flashy, but he did his job. Right? He played well, and well, yeah, I'd say that's
for
more
sure
than enough.
a top diffy relationship diff. Oh goodness. So we are looking at like there is going to be a bit of it. So we've got a Droopy from Droopy, we got a Daddysaurus coming from Nixie, and then we got another Droopy coming out for Spartan. So that is 2 for 1. We'll take 3 more. We'll take 3 more votes, kind of to secure it. So right now it's looking like it's Droopy, but are we going to really take Droopy's vote for Droopy in account?
I think like in effect all accounts could just be Droopy. You never know. I could also be Droopy. Are you Droopy?
Can you vote twice? I said top, man.
Oh yeah, but like I guess you could take his vote. I mean,
Well,
obviously.
no, he said top. Wait, no, I'm it's Tobias. So wait, Toby got 1. We got 2 Droopies. We got a jungle. So that is Droopy 1. That is Daddysaurus 1. And then we got a top 1. And then we've got another 2 Droopies from Supernova. Thank you, Daddysaurus, for the follow. Welcome. I think I don't know how to address you. Address you as Mr. Saurus or as Mr. Daddy. I don't know what I address you as. Us top laners need to stick together, man. I mean, top lane is a pretty lonely lane. I got dared to play AB Shaker top lane the other day. Well, yesterday. It was kind of funny.
There's way too much I could say about that statement.
It was fun. The top laners do deserve some love. Daddy is fine, Justin. Ooh, okay.
Well, it's like you're busy casting.
Dive guy. Dive for a good thing. Another gifted sub to Mia Khalifa.
Welcome to the stream.
Mia Khalifa's in my chat, but I don't know who that is. Do you know who that is? Never heard that name before.
Khalifa.
Yeah, I don't know who she is.
No, honestly. I heard she's like a small celebrity. It's great you're giving her some attention.
Yeah,
some exposure.
Very small, like movie star. I think. I don't know. Can't confirm. But jungle.
Too big to know.
So jungle together, die together. So we've got. So we got 2 Droopy votes. We got 1 vote the top lane, 1 vote the jungle. And now I'm gonna give my vote, and then you give your vote, and then I think that's the decider. So as a jungle player, I want to give it to Daddysaurus. He put a lot of work in. He set up his team very well. And I think objectively, he played pretty well. Vision-wise, he also did an absolute mad amount of work. KDA was good. So I think, yeah, I'm going to give it to Daddysaurus. That's my MVP. So now you could make a 3-way tie here if you wanted to.
Okay, I'm going to stick with my vote that I had beforehand. I'm gonna stick with Droopy. I feel like there's
Alright.
definitely like that argument, obviously, that Isaurus having great effect in game 2 and game 1 as well. But it's arguable, sort of, with the overall impact I think that Droopy had in the first game and consistency that he had in the second game. That overall he was a bit of a pillar that Tempo were using, and overall I feel like I sort of appreciates that enough to get an MVP from me. But that's just my vote.
All right, well, then that kind of, I think that solidifies the vote. So that is going to be Droopy coming out as the MVP. So that is going to be 3, I believe. So it's your vote, and then it was the one Droopy there, and then Droopy voted for himself.
Hmm.
So it is going to be Droopy coming in clutch, but I can't even say like it was by a large margin because everyone on Tempo in that, especially in that second game, all came together, all came in clutch. It's like it felt like they were just one big working machine.
Exactly. They were definitely working, sort of just close cogs together. Absolute power coming through in that second game. Absolute dominance. And well, it's great to see that from Tempo, especially in this best of 2 as well.
Yeah, and I think this is definitely a sight to come. And like they were a bit rocky in the beginning, kind of just warming up a little bit more. But as it progressed, they definitely, I'm gonna say it, they did. I'm gonna say it. They
kept the
picked
tempo.
up the tempo.
Okay, then.
Let's go.
I mean, it is important to maybe just give a few words over to TUKS as well. I mean, I feel like they had a pretty good early game. I feel like obviously going into the first game of the series, you have immediately what you immediately have your prep there, right? You understand what you want to do, and so they executed it, and they executed it well up until they didn't in the 20th minute.
Yes.
Now, when they went over to the second game, they adapted their comp, and the identity wasn't there anymore. They didn't have the Malphite. They didn't have all that sort of point and click engage. Now they were basically playing on individual leads. I mean, it's sort of that change. I feel probably could have been a bit harder to play around for TUKS, and it's going to be interesting to see how they walk away from this series and try and adapt and try and do better for the series to come.
Yeah, like I was trying to get the stats up to look at the stats, and then I'm pointing at the stats like, there's nothing here.
There's nothing here.
It's just the dots. I'm like, what is this? Huh? What is this, Riot Games? What is this?
Yeah, this is actually what you see whenever you're a spectator.
Yeah, oh, goodness gracious. But yeah, I do have to say that we do have to give a lot of credit over to TUKS, especially in that first game. They looked very dominant, very aggressive, and they played their cards right. It was a very unfortunate small mistake that they made up in that mid game that kind of gave Tempo a little bit of a way through. And I still think this game, they still played as well as they were able to. The Cassante, unfortunately, not having the best matchup into the Jacks. And I just think they lacked a bit of engage. And I think the Rakan had plenty engage and did do his job to the best that he could at that scenario. But at the end of the day, it's very hard to play off just one engage, especially with the likes of a Xerath and a Kai'Sa who rely heavily on other people's engage.
Limited options, and sort of the options that they did take just didn't work out in the end. Just got to figure out what they want to adapt their draft to next time. But overall, good series.
Yeah,
good best
very
of
good
2.
series.
Great way to start this tournament off.
Yeah, you're very excited to see what both these teams have in store. If TUKS are going to be looking forward and going to be pushing through here, and then Tempo, what are we going to see? But then from us here, we are going to have another game this weekend. We are going to have a game on Sunday. It is going to be it is Era Zenith playing, so I will be catching that. That is going to be at 9 o'clock Sunday. So be sure to be there. Be sure to be here. There's going to be some banging games. Going to see if we can get Instinct on. Are you keen, Instinct?
I'm going to try my best. Honestly, I want to show up, but we'll see. We'll see.
All right. So be sure to be there. But from my very, very illustrious caster here, Mr. Instinct.
I'm not going to lie, mate. That hair's kind of fire. I've been looking at it.
It's just a little curve, eh?
Yeah, you got a little curve there. I can see it, recognize it. But yeah, brilliant. Thank you.
And yeah, we'll see everyone in chat soon. Thank you to thank you to the gifted subs from Zypher. Man is an absolute legend. Go check him out. He's check him out on Twitter. I'll add him out on Twitter as well if you want to see him. He is very invested in this League of Legends and the Rocket League scene, and he is one of the main people that work for ATK. So we're going to see his team up on here soon when Metal State begins. Metal State registration has begun. But yeah, enough from me. I want to go get something to eat. I am starving. So thank you, chat, for coming by. And everyone else, I hope you enjoy the rest of your evenings. Yeah,